Hello and welcome to Power Play, the anti-penultimate episode of Power Play. Only 3 to go, counting this one right here. I'm Rick Budd, your game master, and these 4 incredible, brilliant, amazing people that you see before you are B. Zelda, our Ulez Gali, Omar Najam, our Vion Vigor, Caitlin Bruder, our Benny Beckett, and Sam Delev, our Kadrax Eversinger. And as usual, I would like to start off by throwing special thanks to Jake, the amazing Jake Kyle, who has made this show possible since day one, since before day one, and Lauren and the mods who keep everything running and humming. We love y'all. We've only been able to do this because of awesome people like that behind the scenes. So thank you. And your subs and your bits help support QueueTimes. And all the amazing shows that they're doing on here. Definitely go check out some of the other QueueTime shows. We've got that awesome Star Wars show going on now with Sam, and there's Blackness and Dragons, and there's all this cool stuff. And your donations to the tip jar that you see there on the bottom, they go to the people you see right here on screen. That is our Feed the Cast fund, as always. And as usual, we have some rewards. Here's how they work. I can read. I don't know why. If we get to $50, the team gets a point of community determination. Right now, their community determination is at 1, and I think everybody's got a couple of points of determination now. Community determination. And if we get to $150, mysterious benefactor. In-game, our team has a mysterious benefactor who sends them cool gifts wherever they happen to be in space or time. And we know in real life that mysterious benefactor is you, the chat. And tonight, if we get to $150, the chat can provide the team with a brand new cutting-edge stereo system for their flying van. The tape deck in that thing has been busted since day one. And now y'all could get like quadraphonic surround sound, bass woofers. We're God. Just as good as a van stereo, as good a stereo system as you can get in a 1989 Bard Traveler. That's what you're getting. That's $150. And if we get to $250, our after credits lore drop. God, only 3 lore drops to go. It's like my heart is freaking sinking. The after credits lore drop, a revealing glimpse of some important but previously unseen part of our story or universe. You can see these tiers in chat with the command unlocks, and if you can't support us by donating, you can always support us by liking and commenting on YouTube videos or sharing tweets, helping promote the show. We definitely appreciate all that too, and we appreciate the fan art that y'all do. In fact, stick around. We're going to have a new fan art reel tonight when we go into the break to sort of celebrate some of that incredible stuff you do. And I believe I am being told that we have opened up the first tier. Thank you so much, everybody. Wow. So that will give you 2 points of community determination to start the game. Thank you so much. We are continuously bowled over by the level of support that you give us for whatever reason. Thank you so much. And you can get Power Play merchandise, T-shirts, stickers with Caitlin's wonderful character art. There's the Power Play logo by our buddy Hector Lowe. And there's the one that Caitlin Omar's got there. And you can now get it with the season 1, like the original, very low key, but everyone's just exploring their powers. Season 4, when they were like in the middle of their arcs, and season 6, the brand new, just like full on superhero art. All versions are available at the QueueTime Stream Elements store. Jake will pump that link into chat for you. He probably has already done it because he's awesome and always Johnny on the spot with that stuff. Jake on the spot? I don't know. The game we play here is called Icons. It is published by Ad Infinitum Adventures. It was created by a cool fellow named Steve Kenson. You can find him on Twitter at @SKenson. He's a great follow. The book edition that I have is published by Green Ronin. They've been sold out forever, but you can, I think, still get a PDF version, and you can get print to PDF versions from Ad Infinitum. And do we open up the second goal? What happened there? Okay, I'm going to get some clarification on that. But sorry, I watch my second screen is like this big. You can follow the show at PowerPlay RPG on Twitter and Instagram. PowerPlay is available as a podcast for the podcast inclined. Check it out wherever fine pods are casted. And that is the announcements. Time for PowerPlay. So yeah, apparently we have opened up all of the tiers already. Once again, kind of blowing our minds here. I don't know if that is like a land speed record, but it's pretty close to it.
I don't think we ever had a speedster, and so Chad is making up for it by speed running the goals.
That's true.
We did.
We have
actually.
had a
There was
speedster, but
Yeah.
Not this fast.
not this fast.
No. Our speedster was fairly ineffectual and easily defeated.
God.
But,
Yeah, that's true.
but chat cannot be stopped apparently. So thank y'all so much. Let's try and make this a good one to validate their belief in us. Previously on Power Play, the Red Mist, who turned out to actually be Donnell Tyrannin, the roughly 1,000-year-old former Crown Prince of Estrovia, tricked the team into taking down the magic shield that protected Fripp Manor so he could look for the orb that renders him vulnerable to damage. Fripp didn't have that orb, but nonetheless, Donnell killed him and 29 other people that day and announced his intention to make Port Ruby his new kingdom. It was a pretty brutal loss for the team, but along the way, Vion was able to use his telekinesis to get a look at the location of the orb. He saw a strange red glow coming from the grass in a big empty field under a night sky. After that, the team joined forces with Will W. Walton, who had assumed the identity of the One, and together they foiled an arms deal that the terrorist organization Toxic was planning to make in Port Ruby. The client turned out to be the mysterious Tony Greaves that was behind the kidnapping of Jonathan Fripp and the brainwashing of the Golden Gardens kids. Greaves, whose real name turned out to be Ronald Knowles, eventually confessed he was working on behalf of the Sovereignty Party leader and mayoral candidate Preston Haynes. The team turned him over to the Department of Investigation. The team turned him over to Department of Investigation Captain Leon Neal, who had Haynes arrested. We pick up the following morning. It is Saturday, October 9th, 2021. And you all catch PR1 News first thing in the morning with weekend anchor Malik Douglas, played by Omar Epps. And Malik Douglas says, good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Our top story today is the arrest of Sovereignty Party leader and mayoral candidate Preston Haynes. Haynes was taken into custody last night in connection with an illegal weapons sale and several as of yet undisclosed peripheral crimes. While he has not been charged as of the time of this report, the whole city is wondering what this will mean for his campaign. In other news, the fallout from yesterday's robbery at New Connection Bank continues. A former Perfecto employee named Edward Benton, who is believed to be the mastermind behind the robbery, was arrested late last night when he tried to activate a stolen piece of technology that had been programmed to send its location to the authorities. Sources inside the Department of Investigation say that one of Benton's partners in the robbery is prepared to testify against him after she recovers from a gunshot wound. And thanks to certain documents that came to light during the crime, authorities have opened an investigation into Perfecto in connection with improprieties during the development of the Orson AI and another system known as Coin. The robbery, of course, was foiled in part by PR1's own Nina Harmon in conjunction with several other hostages. We'll keep you up to date as more details become available. Right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll talk with the venture capitalists who want to turn the former illegal prison known as the Glass Tower into an amusement park they say will be fun for the whole family. Stay tuned. And it cuts to commercial. And, we're going to zip on over to Warehouse City, Benny Beckett's apartment. Benny, as soon as the news ends, there is a knock at your front door.
Oh, okay. She's got she's, when you get set up, work from home setup where you've got your laptop on your lap and there's food in a cup balanced and you've got the notebook on the shin. She's sitting there. She's like, oh shoot. And she's got to take a second to clear it all off without knocking things over. And then she kind of almost trips over a cord and gets over and she'll open the door.
Yeah, and you see a package delivery person. Package for B. Beckett.
That's me.
Yeah, sign here. And he pushes a little digital clipboard at you. And then he hands you the package. And you look down at it and see the return address is D. Ben Dixon, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh. You know when you forget that you ordered something and then it comes, you're like, right, that's right. This is important. Okay, yes, okay, we've got things. Thank you. And she shuts the door with her foot. And she's gonna kind of, I don't think open all the way, but just like get it out of the box and keep it in like the
Yeah.
paper wrapping.
When you take the paper wrapping, you start to look into the paper wrapping. There's a note that is just like a little Post-it taped to it. It says, "Dear Benny, took some doing, but I got what you wanted. Predicting this will go over big. Love, Destiny."
Thank you. Okay, cool. And then she'll kind of get it stuffed away into her bag. And I imagine she goes to like text Destiny, "Thank you," and already has a "You're welcome" text.
Yeah, you pick up your phone and it just says "You're welcome." Yeah, from Destiny before you can say anything.
She'll send the she'll send the fire heart emoji.
Oh,
Okay.
it's like Benny's personal emoji.
I know.
And from there, we will zip over to Baronsdale Heights, the apartment of Cadrax Eversinger, Dr. Caden Dialto. Cadrax, after the news, you took dog for a walk and then maybe a quick flight so, they can get some use out of their doggy flying suit. And you are just getting back, and you find Abigail sitting at the table eating Fruit Loops. And she says, "How are you guys tracking?"
Of course. Yes. How are the rainbow circles this morning?
I don't know. Fruity-ish.
Good.
Anyway.
Then they are performing according to paradigm.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. If you suddenly had like pretty much all the money in the world, what would you do with it?
Remind me what one uses it for?
Well, pretty much anything. I honestly thought that whole hostage crisis bank robbery thing was going to be the most surprising thing that would happen to me yesterday. But then I found out about all this money my dad left me, and I want to do the right thing with it. What do you think the right thing is?
Well, I put many of my efforts in life toward saving lives, as we do in our shared profession, and to thwarting evildoers. This is what I believe is good, and what I use my power toward.
Thwarting evildoers. I'm going to put that on the list.
What else is on the list?
Well, I want to help people, but there's so many people who need help. It's kind of hard to even know where you start. Where would you start?
Well, you said it was a nigh inestimable amount of money, so could you not start everywhere?
I guess I could try. And as the two of you talk about what Abigail should do with her money, we're going to zip on over to Vion and Ulez's apartment in Fort Trumbull. Vion, Ulez, what are you up to after watching the news?
Oh, God, that was such a news. What are we up to?
So, Ulez, I wanted to ask I suppose reiterate the asking of the favor of you, which is I'm not exactly sure if this is an insensitive way to ask this, but in defining yourselves as keepers, keepers of information, keepers of life, and the fact that you're able to store branches of knowledge, I suppose, in parts of your person.
Yes.
I guess I'm kind of asking, how all does that work?
From a molecular level?
I suppose. Well, it's just, it's every group and culture that I've interacted with, for the most part, has on some level had a self-destructive strain within it. And I feel kind of confident in having somewhat of a universal mindset, considering we've visited planets and planets have come and visited us. But you folks seem solely focused on, for the most part, peacefully collecting and sharing information with each other.
Oh, yes, absolutely, and with anybody else who would request the information. Well, we don't guard the info. We are not, what was the word we learned? Misers with info. We were watching Scrooge. It was an interesting film. Nonetheless, our info is meant to be shared, and do you wish to learn the acts of a keeper?
Yeah. What if you were to I guess summarize or collect, refine, distill what it means to be a keeper, what would that be to you, Les?
Well, back on Spire, when we had gone to our school of excellence, there was, amongst all keepers, there are some basic rules that we all follow. They are rules that we have known since we are born, and they are not even necessarily rules, because rules, as I have learned, for humans, you tend to bend or break them. But these are guidelines, they are suggestions, they are a path for you to live a life as a collective, and it is to exist well for yourself to exist and for everything around us to exist well.
I see. Okay. All right. That's and I'm gonna like cast illusions to jot that down on sort of like a chalkboard that like appears.
And very specifically from our school, it was learn forever. That is because we are a Ulas galleon. Oh god, I almost died there. We are Urla's Galley, and we are meant to learn. We study forever.
Study forever. All right. And I start to jot that down, and I toss to you a piece of chalk that is an illusion. So it's difficult to hold. But well, no, actually, illusions work like mentally. So like I guess technically you can interact with it if you want.
Okay. So nonetheless, the scrambling moment happens, and they fumble it because that's what they anticipate.
Okay, great. So thinking as a collective, existing for yourself, and making sure that everything around you that exists well. This is great.
Correct.
Okay. Constantly studying, feeling like you've never completed your education.
There is no such thing as the end. For we must learn forever.
There is no such thing as the end, for we must learn for forever. And Vion writes that and then takes a step back and moves the illusion of the chalkboard away and then burns those specific words into the wall. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I held on to that. All right. And then I slide the chalkboard back. Great. Okay, fantastic. And in terms of storing knowledge in like specific like appendages, how exactly does that work? And Beyond starts like jotting down notes of.
Oh yes. Oh well, then we must replace a portion of yourself to use for storage. Why the entirety, and like Les sketches out like maybe like a chunk of their torso down to a hip. This is mostly where my hard drive is.
Okay.
But it's how you humans would say a solid state drive.
Oh, it's an SSD. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great. That's roll fast and saves on storage. And Vion maxes out his Silicon Valley knowledge right there. Okay, I think that might be a little bit of a challenge. I'm trying to think of where else I could store information in a way, because it's mostly in our brains, which are kind of right up here.
Could you modify your brain?
I mean, mostly with education, or do you mean like in a biotechnical way?
Oh, yes, we could add an appendage, a hand or a foot to your head, and we could store the additional information in there.
Okay, that's interesting. That's something that I'm definitely going to mull over, and think about sort of like the pluses and the pros and cons of adding like maybe like a hand purposely to the head for storage. It's interesting. We have and I'll project like another image of sort of like a cartoon version of a human being, where like a
Okay.
heart is not like a biological heart, but it's like that, like the curved heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're it's fascinating because in thinking biologically for us, I suppose we look at our specific organs and go, these have this specific purpose. And there's sort of like a narrative we kind of stick with, even though the human body is really a mystery and kind of operates outside of, I don't know, convention quite often. But poetically, Ulez, we often say stuff like our feelings are stored in our heart, even though that might not necessarily be true. But I'm just starting to think that maybe thinking about us a little bit less like a biological operation and more of purposely storing these sentiments elsewhere might be something.
Well, you and Benny are very technically competent with your cellular devices. You could just store them in a phone. Everything you learn, you could store upon the human's internet. All of that is in space anyways. It just beams down to Earth.
Yeah.
It is very dependent on what is the purpose of your knowledge. Do you wish to share it with whatever may be the new spire where we are? And Ulez tries to like skirt around talking about their people. What is your main directive? What is your purpose?
Yeah, that's the question, ain't it? Honestly, Ulez, I'm not quite sure. I mean, the story we're kind of told, at least specifically in this country, I guess, and that might be an inappropriate phrase to use. I'm sure that individually other people have in their communities maybe a different answer, but at least the one that I have been raised in, it's a lot of it has just been to work and to get credit for working. And the contributions you make, are sort of to a company or to your resume. And outside of that, everything is kind of seen as frivolous. And I think that even in our educational institutions and our systems, most of them are done so that you will be a more adept worker at the end, that the value of your education is what you're able to provide economically. It's not really seen as the health of the community or the intelligence of the community. I think we measure that individually and not where are we all moving towards. So to be honest, I don't know if I actually have an answer, and I think that might be something for me to mull on.
Would you ever travel the universe in search of new ideas to write about for a new novel?
Yeah, I think so. That's not a bad idea.
Wait till we show you what we have done with our spaceship. But not yet, though. There are still many changes to be made, and Lori has taken to breaking a lot of the things that we have implemented, but it is a work in progress. We are still moving forward, just slower than anticipated.
And there's a knock at the door.
And I like wipe away like the chalkboard. I'll remember that. We can recreate it anytime we want.
Yes, excellent.
How's it going? And I'll open the door.
And it's Sandy. Sandy Carper, played by Cheech Marin. And he shows up and says, "Hey, Beyond, Ulez. Just come. We greet you. I'm just checking in to see if y'all are going to the October Carnival tonight up at Greenacre Park in Avalon."
What is this carnival? We've heard this word.
It's a fun event. It's like a collection of activities that are done specifically mostly for fun.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be rides and games and like an artist's alley where people like paint stuff and draw stuff and show exhibits and things like that. I think you'd really like it.
We are having a hard time imagining. Alleys are often for violence, and this alley has art. This is brilliant. Why have we not seen more of these?
Well, the carnival only comes once a year.
Well, Vion, do we have the availability?
Yeah, I think that I think with everything going on, we all deserve a little bit of a breather. Let's see if the others are interested. Also, Sandy, is there any type of with this being a specific autumnal event, any like food contests or any like vegetable growing blue ribbon contests for like the biggest pumpkin or anything like that?
Oh,
I seem to remember there being a whole bunch of little competitions like that. There's like a whole farmers market section, and they have a stage there where I seem to remember them handing out some kind of awards. It wasn't exactly my scene, but I know it's there. And yeah, there are definitely awards for all kinds.
I will interface to find out the exact competitions that are available. What still have registration open? What can I enter?
You won't have to roll for that. I'm just gonna say because this is regular internet access. You know, it's like you're not hacking into the DOI here.
They want to do it so fast, though.
That.
Well, basically, there are. See what I can make up off the top of my head here. Yeah, there's stuff for like, growing the biggest examples of certain kinds of vegetables.
Like the biggest sunflowers? That's a traditional.
The biggest sunflowers. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. Then there are things for like flower arrangements, like floral arrangement competitions and things like that. And just whatever you think you might want to enter, they probably have something just like that, strangely enough.
Okay, we're entering in the largest sunflower competition.
The largest sunflower competition. Yeah, and you are exhibitor number 35.
Okay, bit of competition.
Right.
Bit of competition.
Well, there are many people who have entered this. This is excellent. Vion, Sandy, we hate to slice this part of the conversation abruptly, but we have to go and determine the best methods to grow the largest sunflower in 1 hour.
Huh. Well, good luck with that. I'm gonna, go have lunch, and then I'm heading in. It doesn't start, I think, till like 4 or 5 p.m. When they start letting people in. But the park's open all day, I mean,
Great,
you can go to the park, but the carnival, I don't think starts till later. But maybe I'll see you there. Good luck in the sunflower competition, Ulez.
Oh, yes. We thank you.
You're welcome. And he heads off.
As I close the door, and I know that Ulez is about to go off on another floral adventure, as they're off to do. Real quick, Liz, I just want to say thank you for sharing you with us in general. But for me, it's a gift that's rarer than it should be, I suppose, in this universe. And thank you, and thank the keepers, I suppose. It's a genuinely good thing to share with each other. So thank you.
We are very grateful for you. We have arrived. We arrived originally on Earth in a dumpster, and now we understand the relevance and the comparisons and the metaphors. Often use dumpsters as an extreme negative. So that was not lost on us, and the circumstances. There was so much involved in how we arrived here, and humans were quite terrifying. On paper, online, we do not try to interact with them too much, for they've not really advanced, and you are all very scary. So,
Yeah.
yes, answering an SOS on Earth was was a bold choice, and we have never been happier to have made such a courageous decision, because our time here has shaped us and changed us. We I consider myself an individual, and while we have a hard time still shifting our language, it is very nice to be myself. And you too, Maria. And they kind of like whisper to themselves.
I hope that your boldness is always rewarded in the way that it should be, Ulez. And also, if you want, I can cast magic on the sunflower to make it grow. If that feels like cheating to you, then we don't have to do that. And we never had this conversation, but I do have that ability.
It would not be cheating if we are using the natural tools at our disposal.
I don't think there's anything more natural than magic.
Supernatural.
And Ulez has you make like a bunch. Like we have to kind of figure out like what's the ultimate like ratio. Do you want like massive stems? Should the middle part be too big? Like there's like a bathrooms full of sunflowers.
Yeah, like some of them are like the size of like palm trees. It's like,
No, not quite that
Too
one.
big? Yeah, you think it's too big?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need a smaller insert technical terms about flower parts and very detailed instructions. Okay, we must try this.
Okay, all right. And we'll just keep tinkering away until we get the perfect large sunflower.
yeah. And anything else anybody wants to do at this point? Or what do you think?
I do think that at some point before, because Benny, I feel like Benny, this is the carnival, something Benny would know about. I think that's like her one thing where it was like, yeah, I'm getting out, Mom and Dad. When she first like moved here, yeah, Mom, I'm getting out. I promise. There's a like flips through. There's a carnival this weekend, so yeah, I'm doing things. And so now they ask about it every year, so she goes every year. So I think she knows that it's happening. But before that, at any point during the day, I do think that I don't really need a scene out of it necessarily, but I think she finishes doing dishes, and then I think just for like a few minutes tries to lava on just her hands like over the sink, and like every time I'm assuming it obsidians out, and she like it hurts, right? It's like a painful thing, right? It doesn't quite
It's like
this, like,
it's sort
crackle.
of like it kind of like dries into rock, and then like the rock breaks, and that hurts for like a second, but then the broken rock sort of dissolves back into the lava beneath,
it melts
and
itself back in, and
it keeps happening again and again.
I think she has just like a little bit of a frustrated like lap around the apartment once or twice, and then tries it again, and then it's obviously still isn't working. And then she kind of is like, okay, we need to do something today that is not focusing on this, and so she's gonna go get ready for the day.
Yeah.
Ulez is going to be sending some text messages when Beyond is doing the magic part. Just some text. Most of them are in emoji conversation, but one of them is very, very. I think actually it's like a text to phone. So the receiver of this will get like that robot voice that says like, "You are receiving a text message from Ulez Gatli," and then it'll read out like, "You are cordially invited to a event happening tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and you all receive an invitation from Ulez to come to the park and attend the carnival and go to the sunflower growing competition at 9 p.m.
Excellent. I have separately been advised of this event because apparently we all have, by some strange fate or circumstance, in my case, I have promised to assist a colleague in the talent show by providing sonic accompaniment to, well, they call it singing, but I am very happy to facilitate nonetheless. So I am going to be attending it later today, as I tell Ulez and I will, for this reason, be bringing the fiddle.
Ooh, you get a response back from Ulez that's like a selfie and a thumbs up, and it's there's the background of like maybe our living room covered in sunflowers and strapped to their front, more harness style than Baby Bjorn style, is Lori gnawing on the stem of a sunflower.
Yeah, and Cadrax, it is Milo, the nurse from your clinic, played by Carlos Valdez of The Flash. He sings and needs a musical accompaniment from someone who does the who plays the fiddle. Yeah.
Sorry.
And he's absolutely counting on you now. So this is what you're doing. We're going to the park, and then the what did we call it? October Carnival. Wow, just everything coming together in this one. So yeah, let's say by 12. Let's say by noon, y'all meet up in what we shall call the big lawn of Greenacre Park in Avalon. It's very similar to New York City's Great Lawn in Central Park, but it's big rather than great. And the big lawn is sort of in the middle of the park, and it is south of like where the Port Ruby Arboretum was, like where you were way back when. And it is an unseasonably warm October day, not hot or uncomfortable, but not cold, certainly. And there are a lot of people out in the park today. Some of them are waiting for the carnival to start, and a lot of them are just hanging out on the lawn. There are people, playing acoustic guitars, hanging out with their families, playing fetch with the dogs, things like that. Did you bring dog, Cadrax?
Well, someone needs to supervise Lori's facilitation of the squirrel uprising. So yes, absolutely.
So we brought Laurie and dog.
Lori is harnessed in, so as to minimize the amount of squirrel uprising plotting that has occurred.
One, it is but a matter of time. Two, why do we oppose the squirrel uprising?
Laurie's like pulling on the harness.
Lori, come on now. Just today. Just please stay with us. Don't sass me. I know what that means.
Dog is not about it. Dog is just eyes. Will not ever leave Lori. Not both ears are back, because like the ears are never both back on dog. So there's one. But that ear has big feelings. Yes.
Oh, one airplane ear.
like dog puts like a paw playfully on Laurie, and Laurie's like, and dog puts the paw back, and Laurie, and that just kind of keeps happening over and over again.
Benny walks up, like walking very slowly and like very like furiously texting, like not like angrily, but like very very quickly. And she's replying, has to reply really fast. And she sees you guys and is like, "Oh hey, okay, hold on. Will you take a selfie with me? My mom's want proof that I'm alive and also at the park, like I said I was." And so she's gonna try to get a photo with everybody, like on the bench with the park festivities being set up behind them.
Awkwardly hold up Lori who's fighting, and like they'll just be a blur in the photo.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, for the moms, just okay. Thank you, so that they will believe me. Okay, I'm turning my phone off. She puts it on. Hi.
Oh, we greet you. You are.
Well?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, we are looking forward to the festival. Carnival. Mm-hmm. Did you register or enter in any competition?
No. We used to do a lot of that when I was little, but our like hometown festival was much smaller, and it was more like my mom's let me pick the flavor profile of like honey, and they would not stop me. They would just facilitate whatever my dream for that particular flavor was. We didn't win many prizes, but I sure did have a good time.
Can we get like a top top 3 honey flavors from you, Benny, because I feel like there's a little bit more behind that story than you're sharing.
Oh, like
we would like to know.
for me personally, like 8-year-old Benny's vision for
Yeah, what were
honey
the
should
ones
taste
that you
like?
kind of crafted? Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So it definitely would have been honey with Fruit Loops in it.
Okay.
That was always my favorite. I suggested that one every
Rainbow
year.
circles?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was
Those are
always
beloved of my household.
because then you get like there's like the big Fruit Loops would only be in there for like visual, like the aesthetic of in Kid Benny's mind, but you get like the little the dust at the bottom, and you mix that into the honey, so it'd be a little bit opaque, but there'd be the so that was like I predicted I pitched that every year, and there that's why we got the rule of no repeats, which maybe was an interesting call on their part, because then we started getting weird as I got older. I think one year I tried pickles, but they did shoot that one down. I think was the only time, and directed me back to sweet flavors. But it was
But they're
usually
both preservatives. This makes
they both
absolute
live
sense
in
on
jars.
a purely chemical level. Yes,
That was Kid Benny's. That was Kid Benny's logic too.
That's very sound.
Yeah, it was.
Benny?
Yeah.
Would you make us some honey at this carnival? We would be honored to use it as decoration. There's a lot of love and power that goes into the creation of human of bee honey.
Well, there's the artist fair. I think there's like maybe there's a artisan. Is there like an artisan food section too, like farmers market style?
Well, let me check online. Rick, is there?
This fall,
Vion has like a pamphlet. Like Vion,
yeah, we could have picked up
and
come through.
Strangely enough, yes, there actually is.
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
we can pick up a jar of just like a regular, just plain honey, and then maybe get some ones that actual artisan would maybe have as their special flavors, because those will probably taste good. But I will make you some Fruit Loops honey if that would please you.
Oh, Edward, we will not consume it. We would merely like to set it next to a flower.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Great.
Do those count? And I would like to point over Ula's shoulder at the nigh botanical monster that I assume you must have brought with you.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So I spent some time trying to imagine what is an appropriate size for a massive, and I have not Googled this, so I don't have any true comparison, because I think sunflowers can get bigger than that, Benny or Caitlin.
A standard big one that isn't being cultivated to get big. Like if you're like, that's a big sunflower, but like it's not like that's a big one, but that still feels normal. The ones like we get on our farm when we had sunflowers would be like a big one would be like that big.
Yes.
So I'm
You
like
can
that
get
would
north of 20 feet on those boys.
Yeah, they can get real big.
They
but
can get in height, presumably also have to support with the rest of the. They are
that's why we had to make a bunch to make sure the support matched the rest of it.
Somewhere
So it's
in
almost
Dogville.
like a tiny building. Dog, please, we are showing off our sunflower. It's almost like a tiny building. We had to cast something to make it lighter to carry, because neither Vion nor Ulez owns a dolly or a trolley.
I cast ally, and we have a little ally carrying the sunflowers.
Friends. Okay, perfect. They gesture at the two-story tall sunflower. Oh yes. We're very excited to enter this.
Yeah, we looked it up, and we have to beat 12 feet. So we kind of went with 20 feet. These are 2-story tall sunflowers, just to be safe.
Wow.
Well, you are a novelist by accomplishment, so if anyone could write 2 stories and put it into a single flower, surely it is you, Vion.
We have to find like a verbal game for you to enter into Doc, because you would just absolutely destroy any competitors.
Well, yes, assuredly, in any arena of battle.
Let me and I'll look through the pamphlet, and then actually Ulez, do you mind looking up, is there like a slam poetry competition or something here?
Yeah, on one of the main stages. Yes, there is.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm well practiced in the art of slamming. I do not solely do piercing damage.
Yeah, so we should probably sign up the doc for that.
Oh, already done. But can we
Wonderful.
define the parameters of slam poetry? Because we are imagining, well, the literal.
Oh, sorry. No, this is like just sort of like folks go up and kind of relay and display and perform poetry. And sometimes there's events where you get a prompt right then and there, and you are challenged to come up with wordplay that would yeah.
Is
that
it to
would,
the death?
No, it's usually like a minute.
Do you hold your breath?
Not typically. That's not part of it. Like you can if you're nervous, but usually you just like deliver poetry, like you perform poetry.
Okay. And the win, and Liz looks up like the winning prize. Oh, look, wow, it is a massive stuffy that is also dog friendly.
Well,
Cadrex, you must win this.
as in all competitions of combat, I shall prove superior.
And Vian, what about yourself? How will you contribute to this carnival? This truly feels like another one of our missions, where we must all come together with our abilities and conquer or win stuffed animals.
Yeah.
No, stuff with coffin.
Yeah, we haven't really attended this carnival before, I suppose, or a lot of public events. I I kind of have a signing.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you signing?
Like copies of my book, or just like meeting people.
Oh,
And
that is
and I like
very
turn and
good.
like wave to like a couple folks and just like 1 second, and I like step to the side and take a picture and then come back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a little while ago, I kind of did a thing
And
where
you
I
can see
went
those
around.
folks kind of like, who the hell's that guy?
So I'll be going around and just kind of like whining and dining a little bit and just kind of like being a man about town. That's kind of like usually what I do at these events.
Will
I have not known
cheer
you to
on your
whine.
allies?
You seem very positive.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sometimes, though, Cadrex. Oh,
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, that's more of like an in-apartment thing that we kind of keep between us, Ulyss.
Okay. They're complaints. Yes.
Yeah. But mostly that, or let's see, we got stuffed animal, we got a little bit of a honey journey going on. We got the sunflower competition.
Well, I mean, like, we have to do carnival games. And if there are any rides, because we have 2 friends here who haven't done carnivals before.
Oh, never.
Mm-hmm.
What is their
Oh,
purpose?
there were rides.
Fun. You spend too much money to go do something that has no purpose other than fun.
Yes.
Why?
And they are pet friendly.
Because you can. And sometimes people like there's rides that like go really fast or like upside down and stuff because they think like the being scared is like fun, like it makes you laugh. Like people watch scary movies, like that kind of a thing. I'm not so good at those because I have a weak stomach when it comes to motion sickness. But I mean, there's also stuff like a Ferris wheel. That could be really cool. It just takes you just kind of see way up high. Just
Oh,
takes
you
in a
move
circle.
very slowly in a
Mhm.
circle,
Mhm.
and sometimes there is a nice breeze.
Yeah. We could even do like the carnival games. Some of them are super rigged. But it's fun to throw things. We could, what we could do? You and I would rock at the strength, hit the hammer to the thing, and the bell goes up really high. I bet we could
Yeah.
win some stuff with that. Mm-hmm. Will was always better at me at that. That was like one of like the 5 games in Bellwood that we would always try to do. But Will was actually doing fighting stuff when we were little, and I wasn't, and so he was always better at me than it. But now I bet I could kick his butt. Not literally.
I might be fatigued with all of the slamming, but
That's true.
I will do my utmost.
If you have one more slam left in you, we can put it on that game. I think you'll be good at it.
Yes.
Mhm.
And thereafter there is the talent jam. So first one shall slam.
Yes.
Thereafter.
Yes.
Great. Well, let's knock out some games, I suppose, before we all kind of make our way to our sort of a little individual
Wait!
assignment. Oh, yeah, sorry.
We found the best competition.
Yeah, what is
It
it?
is cutest animal. There are very minimal qualifiers. There are photos of squirrels and turtles, and we believe that looks like, oh, that one's a hedgehog.
Laurie just
have to have
jumps
the-
onto your lap and grabs the brochure and starts looking at it.
Yes, 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 you will win this. Just don't eat the competition. No, please, don't eat the competition. You can win, though.
Yeah, let's enter Lori for that competition.
Yes.
We have to do a photo booth.
Yes.
We have to do a photo booth before the day's over.
Is it different than a photo of a phone?
Yeah, so it does like a couple of them, and they all like stack on top of each other, and it's a good little keepsake of your memories of the day. Humans
They
are
are not
fond of them.
online?
No, it's just like a little, it prints it out.
You know, like how
Where
I
do you
printed.
upload it?
Well, you can
No,
take a photo of it, but
I mean, you can, yeah, an additional photo, I guess, of the 3 to 4 photos. It's mostly
remember,
just, like, you know, you go ahead.
I would say, remember how I printed those photos for you and Cadrax?
Yes.
Like that.
yes.
So it's a physical thing instead of digital.
Oh. I thought that was technical. Thank you. Okay, this is something we must do.
Great.
So you
Okay.
you actually have a couple of hours until the carnival.
Yeah, I
opens.
was figured we had
They're
we
kind
have
of
the
setting
afternoon.
up right now, so it's like, yeah, what do you want to do to kill some time?
So I know the museum was in this area, the Arboretum was in this area. Could go get lunch. It was after lunchtime. Depends on what people are into. We could go see if there is any music playing at the. Was it the jazz was in the museum, right?
The last time, yeah.
The atrium.
I mean, sometimes, this is a big public event. Sometimes they do stuff like that where it's anybody, like an anybody jam. Like you can all just hop in. We could see if that would be fun.
Yes. Oh, I would like that greatly.
So, is that what you're doing? So you start walking up towards the northeast corner of the park to the Port Ruby Museum of Art, and if you recall, it's been a while since you've been here. I think that was back in season 2. Out front, there is a courtyard that has these talking sculptures of many of the artists whose work is on exhibit inside. And otherwise, it's a big museum-y looking building. Last time you were here, Ulez and Benny drew a willow tree at an interactive art exhibit. I think Ulez did the lines and Benny did the colors. And Cadrax went with Vion to that atrium where they found a jazz, like a vibe player, I think, a vibraphone player. And Cadrax used their powers to sort of add to the magic of the music in the atrium at the museum. You come into the lobby. You look around. You can see Jamie, the info desk worker, the same info desk worker who was here when you were here in season 2, is still working at the info desk. And what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
I think maybe we pick up some overpriced lunch from like the bistro and maybe go hang out in the. Was it like an atrium? Because I remember it had really interesting acoustics.
Yep, it was an atrium. Yeah. And,
so maybe there's benches and we can go.
Sure.
Grab food, go sit up there.
You head down to the atrium and you grab some food and find a table. And this time it's not a vibraphone player. This time they have a folk singer playing acoustic guitar and sort of singing, old-timey folk songs, Woody Guthrie stuff, Peter, Paul, and Mary, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I have a palindromic meal. They have carbohydrates and protein and carbohydrates.
Huh.
This one is called ham and cheese.
Yes. Benny got one of those
we
little
have grabbed. Oh, go ahead.
I say Betty just got one of those little like snack boxes. My grandma found a thing. It's like a charcuterie board in like a tackle box, and the snackle box. She would not stop saying snackle box all weekend.
Wow.
It is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. So that's all I can think of. But like not literally in a tackle box, but like one of those like multiple pockets, and there's like cheese and grapes and crackers and like salami, whatever. So like a light little meal and like a soda or whatever. And she'll just finger food.
Ula's grabbed a banana and is carving just little designs on the skin of it.
And I've got a coffee. I probably grabbed a cortado, and just sitting there, I'll glance over at Cadrax. Is your fiddle evident?
Yes, it would be hard not to be. And they wear it like usually it's an over the shoulder in a case kind of deal, and Cadrax is no exception. Although some are kind of structured foam and cloth cases. Sometimes these days you'll also have hard plastic. Sometimes these days there are carbon fiber cases. Cadrax definitely has that, and I think at this point even the humans recognize plasium when they see it. Does Cadrax keep the fiddle in an armored case? That is a qualitative judgment. But all of that is to say, yes, the fiddle is evident. It is on Cadrax's back, much in the way they would wear a weapon.
I kind of nod to that. And are you playing later today, or?
Yes, I am assisting my nurse in the talent jam. Mila will be victorious.
Yes, they texted us. Did you not receive that message, Vion?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not on top of all the communications all the time.
Is it because we send too many fire emotes?
No, it's I'm just I'm not quite sure. If I'm being honest, I'm sure down the road I might get diagnosed with something in terms of keeping track of like a million notifications. But the pertinent ones I keep an ear out for. And I like to receive information, like face to face. I suppose I retain more of that. So yeah.
Okay. Cadrax, if you wanted to, I mean, you could probably see if you could do a little warm up with potential new friend. She just kind of like over at the guitarist. Maybe see if you could hop in.
There's this beat, and I don't know whether it is the music or whether it's making new friends, but they have a moment of like, I think you could see on their face just a little moment of like hesitation, like, I'm not good at this.
I think you'll be great. We could try to get
their
their attention.
I will. Certainly.
Yeah, obviously. And it'll be fun.
That's the one that has no purpose.
Fun can be a purpose.
It is the best one. That is why we watched so many movies.
Well, you have
They were fun.
Most actions, you have a goal or an outcome in mind. Yes. So like winning, succeeding. Sometimes it's just having a good time. Something that makes you feel good. And I think music, maybe I might go on a limb here. Music might make you feel good.
I look to your left arm, your right arm, your left leg, your right leg, and realize it is a metaphorical expression.
My bad.
They start, like, those, like, kind of tiny steps where it looks like there's an invisible force pushing back on you?
Benny's gonna stand up from Sandwich. Hold out both hands to you.
Yes.
And we'll kind of like tap your hands with hers. Cool.
Yes.
And she's gonna start backwards walking with you back to the thing. And here's the thing about Benny. She grew up in a small farm town. A very small farm town. And this is, you said, folksy, old folks tunes kind of a thing. Ben's gonna do a little bit of a square dance with Cadrix. He's gonna try to lead Cadrix into like a little, maybe not even full square dance, but like something that's like half swing, half just like moving around, and he's gonna try to at least get Cadrix like in the space, like interacting with the music, and maybe hopefully ease them into it. We'll like kind of like pull them in and out, and give like a like very slow like half time with the tempo, and we'll try to get them like again just like even emotionally interacting with the music. That will maybe hopefully, you know, and maybe we'll get this person's eyes on us, make it easier of an intro.
You want to like make a willpower
Yes, obviously.
together to just sort of like see what that vibe is,
Yeah.
just like a little bit of a recreational
For
versus roll,
funsies.
just so I know sort of how this.
Okay. How is my? I don't think this my implore skill that we never renamed. I don't think adds to anything here, but that's 12.
So I had a hot 5, which means that this is going to loosen them up extremely effectively, and is very much in the musical vibe of the whole thing. I guess if not an artist by temperament, like the voice is a weapon for them. They're not an artist by temperament, but they know movement, and movement has a certain tempo to it, and introduced, they are loose.
Yes. And Benny's gonna kind of like spin them towards the musician, and we'll back off.
And as you do,
I would like to catch your wrist.
Okay. Yeah, I won't resist.
It just in the spirit of the dance.
as you get close to the musician, you can see that you've caught her attention, and she kind of like stands up with her acoustic guitar and kind of moves towards you to kind of almost serenade you directly while you are dancing.
I think I have some friends who might want to keep dancing. Cadrix, oh my gosh, you have the perfect accompaniment, I think. And we'll kind of like put your hand that's on hers down to your and see if you'll.
The Cadrix will look with etiquette, question face, at the musician.
Yeah, Benny will kind of join him like, is this okay?
Yeah, and you kind of look around, you can catch, there's a little sign that identifies her as Jill Sargent. And you can see, she's got like contact information and a little tray with CDs to sell and stuff like that. And as she sees you sort of trying to engage with her, she sort of nods and looks down at the fiddle, and it's just, gives you kind of a big warm smile. You want to play?
They nod, and they're going to do a speed tuning job, but they're going to use the voice to put a tiny silence bubble around it. Because if you know tuning, you know it's going to be dissonant to whatever she's doing in her music right now. And also, it's a whole time.
Nervous tuning.
And as you're tuning, she sort of takes it down real low, and she comes near you and she says, do you know Duff the Magic Tyrannosaurus?
I am a very quick study.
Okay, folk riff in G, watch me for the changes and try to keep up. And she breaks into a folk song that is very much in the vein of Puff the Magic Dragon, but instead about a magic Tyrannosaurus named Duff. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's very kind of, just strummy kind of chord stuff. It leaves you a lot of room to kind of melody and jam over it if you want.
Amazing. The human music is beautifully transparent in its waveform structure, right? It's very different to find something consonant to an instrument, something that wants to be resonated, versus, I don't know, trying to determine what's in a box in the next room over. All of which is to say that this is by comparison, a very comfy jam. They will probably hang back into just sort of drones and the fundament for a moment until they get the shape, the architecture of the melody, and then will ornament according to the style they observed when we traveled through time into the ancient West.
Yeah, and you kind of flavor Duff the Magic Tyrannosaurus with just a little bit of that kind of Western style, and you can see Jill like smiling and nodding, and she starts like mixing in some finger picking runs and stuff like that, and
I bring in, I make Vian and Ulas. No, I implore very politely, but with fervor, for them to come out and dance with Benny. So we don't want Cadric to be out there alone. Obviously, we're making them perform. We're gonna go too. So if both of them will allow, Benny will kind of do like a do-si-do between the two of them and like do like lead them in like some sort of dance, and then do like a switch to like keep both of them, moving and engaging.
Everybody should have a friend like Benny.
As your you go first, B.
Ulas is gonna decline. They've dedicated their current life to learning a lot about Earth stuff, but dancing was just like they needed new feet, and they had two of the left ones, so it was no interest there. However, you kind of see them peeling some strips off of the sunflower and doing a little bit of gadget work while everybody's dancing.
Benny will tell them at some point during this that the part about dancing with a lead and a follow, the two parts, that's nice. The follow, you don't really need to know anything, so you let me know.
Oh, okay, yes. We thank you. We will enjoy the ambiance and the joy of our friends' faces.
Okay. And Benny's gonna lead Vian then if
Great. And as that's happening, Vian will like clock back, and absolutely for sure. Vian will clock back to Ulez and notice that you're sitting under a tree, and in Port Ruby in October, I imagine the colors are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
And so when I see one leaf fall, I cast element control on Ulez to control the breeze, and I go, Ulez, try to match our movement with the wind. See if you can get the leaves to follow with us.
Whoa! Yes. Okay, hold on. You are doing it again.
And they make like the same wishing. They also mimic the sound of what the sound as well, performing the activity. Because how else would you do it?
I bet that makes such a cool rustling sound. You know how there are electronic musicians who will live sample?
Mm-hmm.
May Catrax live sample the rustles with the voice, since they are using their physical body for the fiddle.
Absolutely,
to bring the rustling of the leaves from Ulez into what we are all doing.
Yeah, and as that kind of mixes in, like the crowd sort of starts clapping along, the other people in the atrium, which echoes around in there, and between the rustling leaves and the clapping and the finger picking and the fiddling, it really is just kind of this beautiful, very full sound. There's never been a version of Duff the Magic Tyrannosaurus quite like this.
Vian will try to step it up a little bit and try to fill in a couple more moves in between, to see if like he gets like the sense of it, and like sort of like, and then we'll play a little bit with the tempo a bit, and like drag sometimes, and then like speed back up.
You want to take the lead?
No.
Fair point. Okay, it's just me and you again.
Oh yeah, everything about Benny screams learned lead.
Heavily inspired by Caitlin learned lead.
Captain Follow reporting for duty.
Yeah, and while you're dancing, all of a sudden from the crowd steps out Lewis Patton, the chief of security from the Port Ruby Arboretum, which is right nearby, played by I think we said Kenan Thompson, and yeah, he kind of comes out and he's like, "Hey, I remember you. We're dancing," and he kind of just like gets right into it and sort of like puts himself right in like the center and just kind of starts just really. He's like, "I love this song."
As Benny and I are dancing, I ask, you strike me as a kid who at least on one occasion wanted to play the drums. Is that correct?
To Benny?
Yeah.
Wanted to implies never did. Spin your again.
Did you play the drums?
We had like a middle school, or yeah, did she make it to middle school? Yeah, I was in middle school for 1 year. I did band. I sucked at every instrument when we did like the testing. Drums.
I would like to find 2 buckets.
You try to walk away, and Benny's like, "Van, it has been 15 years. Van."
We're doing the bucket boy thing here. With the,
Yeah. I want to grab 2 buckets, and I'll grab 2 like dry sticks from the tree itself.
We're indoors. We're eating buckets.
Strangely enough, those things are there, just amazingly. You
I
wouldn't believe it, but
play the spoons. We just got lunch.
Oh yes, we do have spoons. I love this world.
I will phase through the door of like a supply closet and come out with like 2 empty buckets. And like push those. I'll cast element control on myself and also like push those with the breeze towards Benny and grab 2 sticks from the tree that was like shedding leaves and toss them over to you.
Benny will do we'll set up, we'll do a very basic, just kind of like 1, 1, 2, just like to the beat of the music, very quietly.
And yeah, that fills out the sound even further, adding like a nice, backbeat to this folk music. It's a very cool moment. And the crowd gets into it, and finally the song comes to the end, it reaches its final line, which ends, and that's the story of Duff, the magic Tyrannosaurus. And Jill just comes over to Cadrax and is like, "That was fantastic. I love like the Western thing you were doing there. That was, you've got some talent."
That is most beneficent of you. I appreciate the opportunity to practice. It was fun.
Don't forget to get a copy of my CD on my website.
Of course, yes. Those are the things that go in the microwave, right?
No. I'll stroll up and I'll buy all this because she had CDs there available.
Yeah.
I'll buy them and start handing them out to the crowd of the folks who stuck around like throughout the entire performance.
Oh my God. Get yourself a friend like Vion Vigor. Seriously.
Every artist in the audience and here loves you right now.
I mean, they're the ones that are like keeping us fed.
You hand them out, you give one to Lewis Patton, and he's just like, "Yes! Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna play this thing. You just like wear a groove into it." I mean, it doesn't actually. It's not gonna have a groove because it's not a record, obviously. But you know what I mean, like a metaphorical groove.
But speaking of little groove, you've got some moves, man.
Well, thank you. Dancing goes back several generations in my family.
Good to know.
Yeah, dancing and being chief of security at an arboretum. It's both family traditions.
That's incredible. All right. That's something else.
Ever since we all met way back when you were like looking for that weird robot that was lost at the Arboretum, I've been following you, and I've seen now that you're like the Spirit of Justice and Magnova and Eversinger and Sunflower and I just we greet you. And so I tell all my friends that I have met and worked side by side with the defenders of Port Ruby, the bravest heroes this city has ever seen, and I'm just so proud to be able to call you friends, or at least acquaintances, or at least people I met on one single occasion. But it was a very friendly occasion, except for all the kidnapping stuff or missing person stuff. But otherwise, it was a very, very friendly.
You were
I think.
instrumental to that rescue.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
we're
think
happy to
so.
have met you.
Do me a huge favor if you can. Count yourself as a hero, considering that was a mission that we could not have completed without your help.
Do you think I should get myself like a superhero name?
Yeah,
Oh, you
absolutely.
should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I'll be like Captain Arboretum. You got a ring, right?
No.
I just glance back at Ulez as you're like messing with the sunflower. I'm just like, do you have an alt to pitch back for the captain over here, Ulez?
You gotta know, but
We're thinking about titles that start Admiral Arboretum. We are a big fan of
Admiral Arboretum.
alliteration.
Yeah, admirals
That's
outrank captains, don't they?
Do
Don't
they? We don't know.
Yes, very much so. It is an extremely advanced military.
All right. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made up that's a AA on it. No, wait.
wait,
That's
Oh,
a
Alcoholics
different
Anonymous.
thing.
just
Yeah,
the whole
okay.
words. The whole
Yeah,
word.
the whole words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, you have a great day,
It's good to see you.
my friends.
Oh yes.
You too, Admiral.
Yes.
And he takes
We
his
thank
CD
you.
and kind of, we thank you, and he just takes off down the hall. So where do y'all want to go next?
Oh man. I mean, we could. Where doesn't? I guess doesn't necessarily have to be seen, but we're already in the museum. I feel like maybe we wander through at least a few wings before we head out, but we don't. It doesn't have to actually be anything in particular.
Tell you
I wouldn't
what,
mind
why
that.
don't y'all go through the museum? You kind of see some of the art and some of the sights and stuff like that. And while y'all are doing that, let's take a 10-minute break. And then we will come back and see how the carnival goes, I guess. So yes, thanks for sticking with us, folks. In case you have not realized it yet, this is what we are doing tonight. With the end just so close, I kind of wanted the chance to let these amazing players inhabit these characters without me pushing them around with bad guys and mysteries and stuff like that, and just kind of let them do whatever they wanted for a game. And apparently, what they wanted was to go to a carnival that is just jam packed with events. So. Yeah, and dancing and music, and it's so far this episode is just it is good for my soul. I hope everybody's enjoying it as much as I am. So don't go nowhere. We will be back in 10. Welcome back. So yeah, that is the new fan art reel with just a small taste of the stuff that has come in since the last fan art reel, and we love the fan art. Thank you so much to everybody who contributes. I want to throw out a special thanks to Lemon Twist, who I think has done every single episode, and they're just each one better than the last. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to Lemon Twist, and thanks to Jake for putting together that fan art. And when we left off, the team was at the Port Ruby Museum of Art, and now that we're back, you're hanging out at the museum right now. Kadrax, Ulez, what are y'all doing?
So I
I think there's a moment after everybody's kind of calmed down from the food, the dancing. Maybe we visited a couple of rooms, and then completely unrelated to the space that we're in, Ulez looks over to Cadrex and says, "Cadrex,
Ulas.
We understand that it is customary to enter a space where they call the bathroom in a pair. Would you accompany myself so we do not fall in any of the holes that may be found in one of these washrooms?"
I was not aware that humans applied appropriate pair tactics to what could otherwise be a dangerous location. It is absolutely
Mhm.
best to stay with one's battle buddy.
We have
Therefore, I
seen it
shall
in
accompany
many a film. Oh, therefore it is absolutely based in reality.
naturally.
and then they
Benny
look
leans
the
over
other
to
two.
Vian. Benny leans over to Vian and goes, "They're getting good at this, actually. The logic is sometimes weird, but that's the most human thing I think."
Genuinely spot on.
Yeah.
I actually was wondering who those two folks were, and then I realized they were ours.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
they're ours.
Live and die for that. Yeah. So we're gonna wander over to we're just gonna wander out of the space.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we're out of earshot, Ulez is gonna lean in and say, "We do not actually wish to go to that space. We simply wanted a very believable excuse to talk to you away from our allies."
I believe you have thoroughly deceived them. I myself believed that you wanted to visit the restroom facilities.
Yes, but what would be the purpose? Well, we do not truly have to wash our hands, for we apply disinfectant all the time, and, well, sometimes we sit on the toilet in our apartment, but there is no thoughtfulness, as the humans have expressed. So we spend most of our time in the other rooms. But we are losing the track of what we are trying to say. It has been some time since we have spoken about this. And maybe we're walking in talking a little bit now. Where do you think we would kind of head to?
Let's see. Gift shop.
Ooh, okay. I mean, let's be real. The window is very enticing.
Right, it's
Whatever
like
they have
near
on display.
exterior and light and
Impossible to say no to. So yeah,
It's pretty
we
close.
absolutely start to head in that direction. We have not truly completed our gift for our friend, our ally. Should we? The last we had spoken, we had discussed making a phone call to their parents, and this would be the sounds that we record, but we cannot recall what the follow-up of the plan was after that.
Do you have perhaps among your inventory the crystalline recording device that we had initially constructed? I recall in the entirety our interruption. In fact, it was time travel.
Yes, it was. It absolutely was.
Therefore, it
and
has been, as you assessed, some time.
Oh, oh, that was very good. Yes.
And they kind of pat themselves down in maybe like their little fanny pack. They have that inside, and I'm trying to recall. Ooh, I shouldn't touch my forehead. What it looked like. And unfortunately, do you recall? Because I have harmonica on the brain right now. So my memory is compromised.
I love the sort of glass harmonica idea. Though, like, I also saw that you were fiddling with Sunflower in a sort of gadgeteering mode. What do you feel about attaching it to the body of the crystalline device as a sort of Victrola speaker?
Ooh, that would be gorgeous.
I feel like that is something that could be cross-facilitated against the crystalline recording device of the Star Choir.
Absolutely.
One second. And they also seem to have just a large bag of sunflower heads. Ules is gonna get to taking that organic matter and turning it into something, and they're gonna have to like pop outside like one of those exits
As we walk past
to
the gift shop
utilize.
toward the exterior.
We just need some solar energy. It won't be too long though. Are you prepared to make the call?
We shall have to communicate with the humans directly with no intermediary assistance from our allies. Nonetheless, we have been on this planet for such a long time. We are so qualified to do this.
Incredibly so.
Yes.
Incredibly so. We have watched many a film, some with plots that we understood and most without, but nonetheless that is knowledge that we can apply in order to make this situation a success.
I have flawlessly impersonated humans for years now, truly multiple revolutions of their planet around their celestial object, and I'm therefore qualified. We may do this. It is exactly 2 years, right? I said that. All right. Well, I guess Cadrex will pull out their telephonic device, given that your communicator is inherent.
Somewhere.
Right. And we shall call Benny's mom's.
Okay, I'm intrigued. And it rings a couple of times, and then you hear the voice of Lola Beckett, played by Jodie Foster, picks up. Hello.
Well, we greet you. This is Ules Galley, accompanied by the notorious ally of your child.
And Ules gestures.
Hello, it is Dr. Caden Dialto, surgeon.
Hey, Doc, Ules, what can I do you for?
We require your assistance with respect to your offspring.
Uh-huh.
You must understand that we have worked closely with your Bennifer Beckett and have found in that time a most generous being for which we believe retribution is required. I look over to Ules like, so far so good, right?
Yes. Thus, we have prepared a contraption utilizing the skills known mainly to what you would consider alien sources and unknown powers. And with all of those strange pieces combined, it is the last thing that we need is for you and your partner to come together and share your voice upon this space.
I'm sorry, what now?
You must understand that as part of aforementioned generosity, your offspring communicated and recorded for us, respectively, some of our most meaningful memories. Her instrument was a camera, but we, being not of Terran origin, have our own tools. Nonetheless, if we are to record memories that are precious to her, we have observed that the most heartfelt ones come from you, her progenitors.
Oh, you want us to tell stories about Benny?
Do you have a song?
Song?
You are my sunshine.
Oh my goodness.
And, well, I mean, we do have a song, but I can't sing it alone. Hang on a sec, and you hear her like kind of muffle the phone. She's like, "Eileen, get down here!" And you know, you can hear something going on the other side.
Oh, I don't get that.
And
Yes.
then, you know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
please.
And then you hear a click, and then you hear the voice of Eileen Beckett, played by Helena Bottom Carter, and she's just like, "Hello, can you hear me?"
Ules, can you adjust the signal to noise ratio of this human device to something superior?
Okay. Let me. And they're gonna reach out to your phone.
Absolutely
I want to
destroy
boost.
it.
I mean, your external speakers are never gonna sound the same again. They're gonna be a little tinny since.
Fantastic. Cataracts doesn't care. They can do their internal.
Do you want like a role for interfacing to have
No.
this to be as loud as possible? Okay.
Today you can just do whatever you want, and you hear Lola is just like, just let us know when you're ready.
Oh, yes, okay. And the flower, and we will attach. Okay, Cadrex, yes.
I
We are
put
prepared.
a hand to the crystalline base so that I can use my voice to imprint onto the recording section of the device, and I put the other hand on Ulez's and on the phone. So I guess I'm kind of holding their hand and the phone like so much palindromic meal.
It's beautiful. We are ready.
Nah, you're okay. And then you hear say, "You want to go high or should I go low?" Like, who does the, you know? And we'll go the thing. You know, no. I mean, I think you do the high part better. They get okay. 1, 2, and there's like a second, and then you hear, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. But a bump, bump, bump. You never know, dear, how much I love you. No, please don't take my sunshine away. But a bump, bump, bump."
Truly, there is no doubt in my mind that this will be as precious to her as her photography is to us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for Benny.
Oh, no. Let us take this opportunity to thank you for being Benny's friend. And, you know, it's over the last year. We've seen such a change in her. Just the confidence, she you know, just something we've always wanted to see in her. And there's not the slightest doubt in our minds that that's from her friends and everything you've given her. So thank you.
Benny has been so crucial within our friend group. We do not know where we would be without her. Truly, we are grateful for you and for all that you have done. Thank you for your kindness, and we hope that you will exist well forever.
And we hope that you will come visit us on the farm sometime and show us some of those Ules Galley horticultural tips.
Oh, may we text you a picture of a sunflower? Not a sunflower emoji, but a true sunflower that we have grown using the resources at our fingertips.
And you hear Eileen's like, "Oh, we wish you would."
Yes. Okay.
We shall end this voice communication. Thank you once again, and please stand by for Botanical communique.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
And they hang up.
That was excellent. That was beautiful. We forgot that there is so much depth within the sounds of humans that are connected with each other. That is so lovely.
Truly, their voices resonate their feelings so beautifully, as transparent as their harmony is their feeling for one another.
That is quite nice. Okay.
I shall move back
ha-
very, very far so as to get the full height of this sunflower.
Oh, would you? Okay. Okay, ma'am. We would like to stand right next to it. Oh, I mean, we will hold it up because it must be displayed.
I will go now 30 paces back.
And while Cat is like flying back to get the whole thing into the picture, Benny, Vion, what are you doing while this is all going on?
I've paused at a painting, and I'm sitting at the bench, and I want to say it's a painting of the Port Ruby skyline, but from the angle of one of the buildings. And it was painted, I want to say, let's say in like the 20s or 30s.
Sure.
And I'm kind of just looking at it, and Benny, how close are you?
And she'll sit next. If you sit down to look at something, she'll sit down with you. And
I've been trying to figure out why this feels so incomplete. Something seems wrong about this painting, and I think it's because the artist didn't include any of the folks. It's just the buildings of a city.
it's
It
just
feels
a
too
skeleton.
quiet. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's supposed to feel lonely.
Yeah, maybe. And I look at the year that it was painted and kind of like, not really chuckle, but smile and just go, kind of like how it is now.
Full of heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of them, actually.
So many.
Tons. When we were trying to detect anger to figure out where Sunny was a little while ago, and I was doing a emotional sensing. I was just picking up on sort of everything that was going on in the city, and it was so overwhelming in the best way possible. It was every feeling that one could feel is happening at some point in the city somewhere. Benny, how are you doing?
I think I deserve that. Working on it, I guess. I tried to burn over my kitchen sink this morning, if that's any indication. Still not going well. And I don't really know what to make of that or how that makes me feel.
Did it hurt before when you would catch on fire or turn to magma?
Not physically. It scared me a lot for most of my life. It's horrifying. I hated it. And I don't think I realized how much I don't hate it anymore until I couldn't, you know? I think I spent so long thinking of it as this separate thing from me. It was the fire, the fire does this. The fire feels this. The fire scares me. And, now that I can't do it anymore, I think I'm kind of finally starting to realize how much it's become a part of me. And I think for the first time in my life, I don't like that I can't burn. So I don't know what emotion that is, but that one.
Vion holds out his hand,
Yeah, she'll take it.
and he drops the voice. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Like, what do you want to be like as an adult?
Oh man, so many things. I wanted to be a ballerina for like a summer. I wanted to be a vet for several years. That was like so. Yes, we didn't even really have that many animals in the farm. We had like goats and like cats, and like that was it. I was like, I want to be a vet. I'm not good at science. I don't know why I thought I could do that. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was in like kindergarten, and then I found out you could die in space, and that turned me off to that immediately. And then I don't know, when I was, I want to say like 9 or 10, maybe, I got a Polaroid camera, and I became obsessed with. I mean, at the time, I don't think I had words for it, but seeing a moment and making it stick, you know. I wanted to tell stories and not be in them, because my life was kind of becoming enough of a story. And so kind of as I got older, I got into, the photography stuff, and then eventually it became film stuff where I could watch everything from behind the lens, I didn't have to be involved, but I could, capture someone else's story. I was pretty young. I don't know. I always feel like I started that pretty later, but I think I was, middle school, tweenish. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Here I am in the middle of a story anyways, so I don't really know how well that worked out for me, but I tried.
It's such a weird thing. I've been thinking about lifespans and mortality and stuff like that recently, and it's also fascinating when you think about like youth and childhood, I guess, because there's a seemingly a middle, beginning, and end. And adulthood, for some reason, doesn't have that. And it kind of feels like this massive free fall.
You're telling me, yeah. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Honestly, a bear.
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
You
Thank
sleep
you.
all winter? That sounds a good
It's
gig.
absolutely incredible. You get to play in rivers. I was really young, and I saw one in Yosemite, a park name that we really should retire sooner than later.
I'll start a petition. That could be our next Defenders of Port
It's
Ruby.
not a bad idea.
Yeah. Got
But I
notoriety
saw,
now.
like, a bear cub, and I was like, that's the dream, man. That's actually what I want to do. I don't want to, what do you want to do when you grow up? A job? No. I want to play in a river.
Yeah, it's your taxes. I just want to be a little guy in the woods.
How about now, though? Now, when you grow up, what do you want to be?
Helpful. I want to, I don't know, be something that was missing for me, I guess, as a kid. My moms are great. Probably more supportive than they had any right to be through all of this. But, they still didn't have all the tools. Who does? Little nowhere Michigan, your child spontaneously combusts. Who has the tools for that? They did great, but it was, I was pretty isolated. I was pretty alone. I don't know if I could fill in some gaps for someone else. I don't know. I don't know what that is or what that means, but when I grow up, I want to be helpful. What do you want to be when you grow up now?
Distinguished.
Ooh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're pretty close. If not already, I'll let you know that.
Thank you very much. I think I might need a couple more suits.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Refine a couple manners.
All doable.
I haven't quite figured it out, but I had a really interesting conversation with Ulez this morning, and they suggested writing. I hadn't really thought about that in a while. I guess I got really caught up in this whole spirit of justice stuff and kind of lost track of the whole Vion beat. That's the superpower. Everything else, I guess, is it's great to be able to get buckets pretty easily by phasing through a door. All the magic stuff is definitely not too bad. I want to acknowledge that privilege. I can do kind of anything.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty rad.
The coolest Swiss Army knife in the world.
Thank you. I'm sure there's one out there that's maybe a little bit cooler. I can't like open like a bottle of wine still, so they definitely have
We
that
should
on
work
me.
on that. You should work on that. Yeah.
But I think wanting to celebrate the stories of others is a little bit better of a superpower. And I think that's yours, Benny Beckett. And the fire is just a byproduct of all that.
Maybe. And she goes, oh, before I forget again. And she's gonna pull up her backpack. I think she just has like a side bag.
Mhm.
She opens it up and she pulls out two things. It's kind of one is just like brown paper bag, like wrapped, and then another is a small box. And she sets them both on your lap and says, "Those are for you. You weren't around when everybody else got their gifts, and also yours came all way later than everybody else's. So I took a little digging, because, anyways, just there you go. So you have two boxes. The one on the top, the little one. You open it up, and inside there's a very oddly shaped, like metal thing. And she goes, okay, so it's a bookmark. And it's like two, like a thinner or a thicker piece of metal and two really, really thin needles almost. And she goes, you slide it behind the binding of the book. And then there's like 3 ribbons coming off of it, and you can mark your places. And then the middle ribbon has a like a pendant, I guess, and it's got the compass on it, the compass shape. And she's like, "Do you remember when I did that really bad interview at the forge shop?
Yeah.
Still did absolutely did not get the job, but I did go back to use the facilities, and turns out metalwork is pretty cool when you are immune to heat and fire. So I made that, and you can kind of see that it's like kind of crafted in a way like you can see like like when you make something with clay and like the smudge lines through it, and there's maybe like a thumbprint on it, kind of, where she clearly was like in the forge with her bare hands trying to like make this with like a tool. And she says that, yeah, not lesbian magic, but lesbian craft, I suppose, to add to the lesbian magic, maybe. I don't know. You already have a wearable thing, so that was that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. The other one's a little weirder.
Oh, okay.
You open up the kind of big square thing, and in there is a framed photo that the last time you saw it was much newer, probably. Rick, what exactly does it look like?
Well, it is a photo. It is an old Western tintype of Sheriff Virgil Wheeler standing against a wall in a bar in Graveglen. The first time you saw it was the night you died and was resurrected, and the entity that assumed the form of Sheriff Virgil Wheeler took you through a tour of Graveglen, and that's the first time you saw it. And then when you were time traveling with your group, you saw Benny actually take that photo before it was hung on the spot where you would later see it.
It took a little bit. I wasn't 100% sure how to get it, or if it would even, still be there. But I was in cahoots with Destiny. So I'm sure she'll be texting you, bothering you about it. but I had her go see if she could track it down, and I guess it was still there. But she mailed it to me so I could get it to you. And everybody else got a photo, but I couldn't really figure out what would, mean something. And then I remembered I had technically already taken one, kind of. So I guess you can do with it whatever you want. But there you go.
Vion is crying silently, not to attract attention or make a moment of it. It is a very involuntary reaction as tears stream down his face as he does everything in his power to control the muscles so that they do not reveal just how dramatic his emotions are internally. And the only giveaway, aside from, I guess, the literal water pouring down his face, is how hard he is clenching your hand as he looks at it.
Okay, well,
And
I did not mean to make you cry, but
he doesn't say a lot in response to that. There's a lot of thoughts kind of swirling through his mind, and he just looks back up at the painting and then kind of wipes the tears away and says, I've changed my mind. I actually really like this painting. I think I didn't see what it was maybe providing before. I think it's hope. I think that no matter what, we can make Port Ruby whatever we want. I think that's a good thing. And I think if you fill it with the right people, and he squeezes your hand extra hard, I think there will always be hope. Thank you, Benny Beckett.
thank you, Vion Vigor. And she's gonna lean over and give you like side hug, head on shoulder, kind of. And they'll kind of just keep looking at the painting.
And while you're doing that, Ulez and Kadrax come back from their trip to the bathroom.
Hey, so how was your trip?
Oh,
The area is secured.
yes, and the water was functional.
Ulez
Great.
did not fall in. And I'm going to turn my back to both humans and face Ulez and so they can see the elbow.
Yep.
Both
And then
humans
they turn back.
both humans are sitting there like, oh, that's good. Like
That's great. Ulez, that's you're really making progress there.
Oh my gosh. As this is absolutely a good time, we do not know the custom practice of giving gifts. However, we have received a fair share. Benny in particular. And they hold their necklace and like look at the little the picture in the grass from Spire. Like, it is truly a nice feeling to receive something that is sentimental and something that reminds you of the individual themselves. Thus, with the great intelligence of our ally Kadrax and the creativity of the world's greatest detective, we have combined our skills and made and I like to imagine that like Kadrax and Ulez with their hands together like presented at the exact same time. And what does the audio portion of it look like, the recorder from BP, I guess, Beta Pixidus?
Rick, are there any details that I should remember? Because it is the same as the recorders that Sonnefeld's Lullaby
Yeah,
is on. I don't remember that there was anything
I don't remember a physical description
established about it. So crystals can cleave in a couple different ways. There's like the way that mica cleaves. There's like, salt has a cubic cleavage plane, and then there's like things like quartz that are the hex planes. I like the idea that it is built on that, but sort of almost interlocked and hexagonally Jenga towered into the base of it. Whence, and I think how did we integrate the crystalline resonators into the sunflower, Ulyss?
We definitely took a very short stop at the gift shop. There we purchased some pencils that had the logo of the museum on it, some ribbon, and I think an old audio player. I think it was maybe like what do you call those things? A CD player. The round thing that sometimes goes in microwaves. But Ulyss took apart every single thing and really stripped it for its copper wiring, and used that as the connector between the crystal and the flower to kind of create that physical and magical connection, we'll say, and then was able to cast the sunflower, because it's just the head of the sunflower. I like to imagine maybe, like, is it sitting on the top of this?
I mean, yeah, I sort of like the old school Victrola structure of it, where the head of it is the head of the sunflower kind of thing, right?
And all of the petals have been kind of curved, arced in a certain way to, create the best sound performance. I know these things. And the middle brown bit is a very soft, plush surface that won't lose any of itself, because it is now cast forever in this device. And they present it to you. Ta-da!
We didn't wrap
Thank
it.
you. I mean, you don't have to.
We had some plastic bag that I was gonna cut up into strips and then braid and then create some kind of wrapping, but there was only enough time.
There are pages from the book that we had to cut the bookmark for the ribbon, but using that to wrap things, I thought it would make Pete Alameda mad, and then Vion would be sad.
That was why we said, or you said no. Okay.
I thought, humans are unpredictable. The strangest thing provokes.
Well, this is a real pretty combination of materials.
This looks familiar.
So traditionally, my people will resonate it, but for want of a voice, we added this, and I'll point toward an actuator. I think it should be, like the little winding music boxes? They sell those at museums anyway.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, can we make our actuator out of that?
Absolutely.
I know, I'm
That is the
asking
perfect
Ulyss,
touch.
universe's greatest detective and gadgeteer extraordinaire.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I put
Benny
for
will.
the
Benny will do the little.
and the truest representation, filtered and mix mastered
Yeah.
by Catrise into the device engineered by Ulyss.
I think at the immediately the. Are you ready? You good? Okay, top bar. Like before they even start singing, that's
Yes.
Benny, like, she was already tearing up and has just gotten control of herself. It immediately tears up again, and then when they start singing, I think it is very just quiet waterworks. This room is full of tears.
Did we?
And when
Oh no!
and she's like
that like a good one?
smiling like
I think
so big, like
Conflicting
I
emotions.
thought we did well.
and when they finish singing, she just like holds it so close to her chest and she says, I don't even. She's crying, like, and then she's gonna go up to both of you, and it's just immediate, like, it's gonna hand to beyond so full force of Benny hug on both of you, And
Okay, that smells good.
Okay, I think that was good. I think that was
it did. It just holding you both. It's so good. It's so good. They're happy tears. It's it's everything. Thank you.
We are so grateful for you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for you guys every day. And she's gonna grab a hand at Vian. we are group hugging in this museum exhibit. Or my name isn't Bennifer Beckett. Okay, yes, making
Oh no, dog thinks it's about them as well. So now there are paws on a couple of shoulders.
yes, we are group hugging, and Betty's just overwhelmed with love for these very important people in
In
her
this
life.
group hug, to Vion, Ulez whispers, and like kind of like smushes a hand down, and pulls up this tiny little card. Vion, we wanted to give you this really quickly. This is the honorary card of a keeper, to be recognized by any of us, anywhere you go in the universe. And it's just like, it's very like home craft. It was the leaves of the sunflower pressed and like layered and pressed into a card, and then using the little bit of grass from Spire that wasn't already in their locket, they wrote out the name Vion. And then it's like laminated, but with something more eco-friendly, and that will last quite well and look shimmering forever. It's nothing special, but you can hold on to it.
Can I, and if this breaks anything, I'm happy to retract it, Rick. But can the stunned Vion take that and phase it into the compass so it is attached and becomes one?
You probably cannot actually do that.
Vion tries, and when he cannot, Vion turns to Les and says,
Keep it on your wallet.
I will put it in my wallet, but I assure you, I will find a permanent way to display this prominently.
You do not have to. It is meant to be kept. It is like, remember that card we had to make others believe that we were the library investigators?
Right.
Similar energy. We just want you to hold a card of power because it makes you distinguished.
And I turn to Benny. Will you look at that?
I told you were just one step away, man.
Wow. I really got that one in 4 minutes. That's it. I can retire. This is perfect. Thank you so much, Ulez.
Oh, you're welcome. Should we remain in this group hug still? Like we're all like face.
Just like
so it sort of has like a little bit of a group hugs are also conspiratorial huddles.
Yes.
yes.
We are near the Arboretum.
Mhm.
Ulez, do you have the plants from our worlds?
Oh yes, of course. Oh, we always carry them.
And the spotted water lily, which I believe is
Yes.
needed to be recultivated in our time.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Would anyone care to do some guerrilla botany?
Criminal gardening. Yes.
As long as no plants are harmed in the actions of our criminal activity, yes.
In fact, if pickpocketing is the art of taking things and put-pocketing is the art of giving them, we should put-pocket plants.
Yes. Well, we have an hour before the carnival begins. This is excellent.
Good.
We go do that. I think Vian and Benny will do like
Distraction.
loud conversation with people around to like give them time to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
We
you
are
had to-
very good at caper now. We have this down.
Yeah. Oh my
This is a
goodness.
science, and now we are. If
My
we can
God,
rob
did you hear
banks,
about
which
the
we've never done.
squirrels? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you leave the museum and you head down to the Arboretum, which is located back in Green Acre Park, and the Arboretum is only open on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, if you recall.
Mhm.
So it is locked up tight right now.
Oh no.
Bummer. Oh
No,
boy.
jeez. We were really
What ti-
hoping to go in, weren't we, Brandon? As Vion is improvising a loud conversation to you, Benny.
Yes,
Ah,
Victor. I
Ree.
really
Yes.
wanted to, and we're gonna be like, fly, 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 fly over the gate. Go. As if this is helpful.
Yeah, and you
Are we able to? Yeah.
fly over the gate, whatever you want to do. You're making your early
Yeah.
climb. Yeah, and you land on the other side, and you look around, and then you hear it's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And you turn and you see it's Lewis, and he's actually just got the CB in his hand that you just gave him, and he's like, "You came to visit me. You came to visit your buddy Lewis, even though we just saw each other. You're all the best. Come on, come in for a group hug. Come on."
Before the hug is truly initiated, we have a request. We have a request that is of the utmost importance.
You just name
please
it.
Come closer. No,
Anything
no.
for my buddy. Yeah.
Please. we are performing the act of silencing you gently.
Oh, yeah. Shh. What are we? Why are we being quiet?
Have in our possession 1, 2, potentially 3 plants. I think only 2 that must be planted in this arboretum, and they have to be protected at all costs. We are unable to share every ounce of information with you, but I will share a very detailed care guide. But the nature of their power is yet mistaken. The only thing that is known about them is that one is called Cadrax, the yellow flowers from Beta Pixidus.
Catrax will make a dual-toned whistle, most of which is hypersonic, because they never thought to translate it into human. So they just give you the choir name.
And Lewis is like,
Just throwing it right back in your lap like a naming hot potato.
I'll call that one the yellow spotted whistling flower.
Oh, no, you're mixing them up. That one is not spotted. That is the yellow screaming flower.
Yellow screaming flower.
And this one is the spotted water lily.
Spotted water. Oh, yeah, would have been confusing. Yeah, I guess. And he pulls out like a pad and starts writing this stuff down.
And I also have 2 little blades of grass. You can propagate these. They will continue to grow. These are called and they look to Benny.
I believe you are in there alone.
Spiregrass.
Spiregrass. It is very good for the nature creatures like your butterflies and ladybugs.
I
Also,
think I smoked some
weird...
spiregrass once. You get it because I'm making it. It's about. Never mind.
No, do not ignite it. No. It must be cared and protected for, Lewis. This is of the utmost importance.
Well, protecting plants is my life. It's
all
a
costs.
family legacy.
You are the
Admiral Arboretum.
Yes.
And this is where your heroics are truly necessary as guardian of life, not just of this place, but of places from beyond the stars, of places lost and places that may yet find themselves. This
That's a long
arboretum
title.
thereby becomes the legacy of humanity, of a choir, and of keepers.
Please protect them.
I don't know what all that is, but it sounds really cool. Here, why don't you show me how we plant these stuff? And then I because I'm not really a gardener. I'm just like a security guy. But
give me your digital communications, and we will send you. It is not incredibly long by your PDF standards. It shouldn't be any more than 500 pages. It is simply the research that we have been able to acquire. One of these is, in fact, from your very Earth, so there's a lot more information. But we are overwhelmed. Let us go plant.
And we'll find little ecologically appropriate zones based on like what we see, maybe like a little bit of sensing for some of the like soil, like I don't know whether like Pixidus like alkaline, but like I feel like if there's one thing Ulez has on lock, it's soil analysis.
Oh, absolutely.
When we need to get down and dirty.
So
you get
let's
to see
say,
like Ulez in their prime.
yeah, let's say you show Lewis how to plant those, and I think we already established in the past that you had used the spotted water lily to make samples for Dawn so that she could have that serum.
I also have the
you
one
had two
from
of them,
my
right? Yeah.
water friend. Yeah, my aquatic
Yeah.
friend.
So it's like we'll assume this is the other one, and
yeah. Okay, thank you.
And yeah, you show Lewis how to do that, and he vows to guard them with his life on his family honor, and then head back to the carnival.
Yeah, lights are on.
Anybody want to do anything on the way to the carnival?
We'll go straight to it.
Unstrap Lori from dog and put them back on me, mostly.
Oh,
I
goodness.
didn't know that Lori was strapped to dog.
Well,
Every now and then, they escape. But
Yeah.
Lori has
they
been
know to strap
riding
themselves back on.
Lori has been riding dog around the park while you were in the museum, like a cowboy, just
Holding on the sticks, hitting like people's legs and their knees.
All the time I've been imagining these cutaways, like while we were dancing, I pictured just like dog's paw on Lori's head while we were like in our like their background characters throughout, and so I suppose we have to see them at their apogee. Suspicion somehow averted by Lorgian machinations, and they are now co-conspirators to what rodentine end we know not.
If this was ever like a full series graphic novel, kind of like with One Piece, how there's a panda hidden in every chapter, we would just have like a Lori or a dog hidden on the episode, like on the sessions that they weren't actually there. I mean, they'd be obvious in some of the places, but sometimes you got to look for the hidden Lori, look for the hidden dog.
Right, the little lore drop.
Wow.
Carnival, that's the end of the episode. I had a great time.
The culmination of everything of the series was to make that specific.
That's quite the payoff, yeah. You enter into the carnival. I'll say after the time in the museum and after your time in the Arboretum, it is starting to get dark. It is October. The sun sets pretty early, and yeah, you can see the lights from the rides, the Ferris wheel, the zipper thing, there's bumper cars, there's, all those kind of, cheap traveling rides that go from like town fair to town fair kind of thing. And it's all sort of spread out in front of you. And you can, you've got that brochure, which is a map of where everything is. And you can sort of see where the artist alley is, where the farmer's market is, where the photo booth is. The largest sunflower competition is not for a couple of hours. What would you like to do first?
We're gonna rapid fire this. We got 30 minutes, y'all.
We hit a couple of games.
Yeah.
Like ring toss the bottles, the like fishing ducks out of the.
Can we take on a rigged game with the height of our powers?
Yes,
obviously.
Please?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go to
you go to one of those like ring toss games where it looks like it's all fair, but actually the thing is way too big for the ring to go around. Because you're seeing it from the angle that doesn't let you know that.
May I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ulez enters in one of the one where like the water gun shoots water into like a hole, but like you never quite have enough water pressure to get the thing to go up to win. So as soon as Ulez sits down, they recognize like, oh no, this is not quite functioning, and they like adjust it a little bit, and then they have enough water pressure to win.
Yeah, 100%. And Vion uses his magic to beat the ring toss game, and
I'll be honest. I probably just offer the person money. I just like I look at the price and just like in a hushed tone, just like how much would it cost just to get one of those? Right. out of the
These
gate.
aren't for sale, sir. You've got to win the contest.
Absolutely. How much do you want for one of those for the contest to be won?
He kind of looks around. $40.
Absolutely. I give 45 $5 tip, and I will also hand over a signed headshot.
You, sir, are a distinguished gentleman. And
Okay.
and he looks at the headshot and he's like, "Who's this?" Oh, it's you. Well,
Great.
I'm gonna keep this. And he kind of like folds it up and like puts it in his back pocket. And you enjoy. What did you take, by the way? What kind of prize?
Let's see. We have. I don't want to. It is going to be. What's Benny's favorite animal?
Benny.
Goats.
It's a big goat, a big stuffed animal goat.
Yeah, you get a goat, and Ulez, when you fix the water gun game, you win a giant koala bear, and
It goes to Lori right away. It may or may not have been consumed right after.
yeah, Lori like squares up with it at first, like he wants to fight.
It was a gift. Oh no, now you're eating. Oh wow, okay. Nope, nobody saw. Lori, stop.
Oh, dogs
you're
are German
curated to do
Shepherd. That's tug instincts. If something has their mouth on stuffed toy,
Oh, there's
this
stuff
might be the
everywhere.
contextual context. It's like, oh, play. Koala mine, koala yours.
Tug of war till there's nothing left.
And all
Yeah, they're
Lord
just-
should know is war.
They are pulling that thing apart. And what's the next stop?
Benny has to do the the strength
Mhm,
mallet.
mhm.
The belt. She
Yes.
makes one of her friends record it so that she can send it to Will specifically.
Yeah, and
She
you
just
do
wails
pretty
the shit
well.
out of it, yeah.
You get that on video, and you send it off to Will, and you don't immediately get a response.
No,
because
that's
he's
okay. No, I get.
probably out on some mission or something.
I win. I'm winning a shark. I want to get a shark plushie, and that is also going to Will at some point. Because
Sure, 100%.
he is Shark Boy, and no matter what his superpowers ended up being, he is Shark Boy forever and ever in her phone.
Oh,
So she needed to get him a shark to go along with the video. She takes a selfie with that
Nice.
too and sends it to him, and that's yes, I needed to do that.
yeah, that is adorable, and yeah, you've totally got that, and you stopped by the cutest animal competition, which Lori the Lorgen wins, no
Yeah.
problem.
Do
there-
they?
Yeah, 100%.
Does
The
Lori
guy
sabotage the competition? Like, is it a
Obviously.
fair-
now
In striking fear into them so that they drop out or run away. Oh,
Yeah.
except here's the thing. We heard that there are squirrels there fairly often. So I like to think that as they get toward the final rounds, it's
That's
like
canon, yeah.
Mhm. They're in cahoots.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're
This was
they're
organized.
co-conspiracy.
This is
yeah,
organized.
they announce, it's like, and the winner is the blue squirrel, and then someone whispers, and the guy's like, blue chipmunk, blue groundhog. This thing.
Lorgen, they were Lorgen. Lori! And they're gonna hold them up and do a little. Yeah.
And
Is
yeah, he
the
gets a little
winning
first prize
prize
ribbon.
food? Oh, it's just a ribbon.
Yeah, it's a ribbon. He eats it though.
It's like halfway in the
wow.
mouth.
Well, I'll pull out the bottom half. No, we're gonna let you wear that. Yeah, there we go.
You are
You
placed.
just-
Good job.
It immediately goes back in the mouth as soon as you put it on.
Oh, well, okay. I hope it was tasting like victory.
So what next?
We grab some honey.
Yeah, we get honey. We need to make sure that Kajax plays at least one whimsical no point game.
Please.
Which one would Kajax gravitate towards?
Let's see. Well, okay, so there's what Cadrax would gravitate toward because there are like the shooty things.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
There's shooty things, there's ring toss. Sam has watched movies, but if anyone knows more games, I haven't been to one of these.
That's true.
You can
There's like dart to a balloon.
dart to a
Yes.
balloon. What's the
Ooh.
goldfish one? Are you scooping goldfish with like something very unscoopable?
Oh, I can't even think. I would love this carnival never to do that to poor goldfish.
This
I
one
but-
has
or
like,
it
plastic.
immediately becomes about stealing all the goldfish and freeing
How
them.
about like
It's
the
plastic
dunk
goldfish.
booth? Like, how
Oh,
about
you
like
have to
the
try to
dunk-
hit the thing to knock someone into a dunk.
Yeah, there's like a
dunk
clown
tank.
sitting in a chair, and you
Ooh.
like throw like balls at like
Brilliant.
a little bullseye, and then if you hit the bullseye, the clown gets dunked into the water.
Commit a little violence against someone who's heckling you. You know, there's always dart
I think
balloons.
this sounds cathartic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you go to the dunk booth, and yeah, there's there's a clown, and as you step up, the clown sort of starts hurling insults at you. It's sort of like, oh, looks like someone is going to give it a shot. I don't think with those noodle arms you're going to be able to do anything.
No, for I had noodles for dinner, and though I have been told one is what one eats, I assure you it has been a while since I have consumed fearsome competitors, and yet.
Oh, I'm so scared. Noodle arm is going to dunk me.
Do not be afraid, it is but water so far as I know. Nonetheless, I must submerge you for glory. And
Yeah.
also, that very large stuffed animal, I believe that my roommate would appreciate it.
You've got no shot.
It's a giant sloth. You have to win it for Kristen.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
giant
that
sloth.
is perfect. Yep. Should I roll coordination on this?
Sure.
May
Only
I
the
add
only
my
roll
weapons?
of the game. Yeah. No, you can't add your weapons because nah, it's like a
they're thrown.
counts as a weapon.
Shooting the target. It's up to you.
Shot put.
It's just a plus.
Weaponry.
Okay, what the hell? We'll use your weapons.
Yay! I would use a value, but all work no play is getting broken tonight. As a value.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
come on, die. Oh, that's a 4 on the die. Plus 8 coordination is 12.
Plus 1 weapons is
Plus
13.
1 weapons is 13.
And you hit the bullseye, and there's like a horn sounds and a bell
Yes.
rings, and the clown goes right down into the water tank. And the people
We cheer
standing
so
behind
loud.
you kind of cheer, yeah. And the guy, the proprietor of the booth is just sort of, it's like, hey, another winner, and pulls down the giant sloth for you, and goes, have a sloth.
See, fun.
Thank you. This is. I hedonistically enjoyed this experience. And although it has ostensibly utility output, and I hold up the sloth intended
Yes,
as
of course.
a gift, there is no place for this in our apartment, and therefore it seems that it did not have express purpose. This is fun.
And as you say that, you get a text message. It is from Milo, the nurse from your clinic, who says, stuck at work, not going to make it. Thanks anyway.
Hmm. There's a long moment, I think, where there are like multiple flashes through Cadrax's head. There's the flash that just like flies Milo here. And utilizes every bit of their super heroics to get him to the proverbial church on time. But then they reflect on what Milo is doing, which is a more important heroic. Save lives. We'll see you tomorrow.
And he sends back a heart.
This is one of the good ones, right? This means something different than the vegetable? I was warned about the vegetable.
It's just like an appreciation, like a
What
yeah.
color is the heart?
Is this of significance?
No,
Oh, sometimes.
no,
No?
no.
Oh. Oh. However, they said that they were canceling on you. Were you prepared to perform?
I was going to be accompanying Milo for the talent jam. Yes. It appears that I will have neither slam nor jam this night.
Well, I mean, you could always perform solo. Whatever Cadrex wants.
We would cheer very loud. Shh, Lori, no, we don't cheer now. We will cheer when they perform.
You had a really good warm up earlier.
Your slot is still reserved. I just checked.
I'm going to look over to Fion.
Vion looks back and thinks about something. That was for a talent show? Is that right, Doc?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you definitely, if you want to show off your talents with other folks, doing all that, by all means. But if your evening freed up, I wouldn't mind getting your musical opinion on something else a little bit later, if that's all right.
I am always available for consult.
Okay, great. Yeah, after we wrap up our carnival activities, I got a spot to show you all, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Is it the time of judgment? I would like to look to the 20-foot monster.
Oh, yes. We have but 5 minutes to prepare. We must go quickly.
We run.
Yeah, and you
Teleport.
run through the teleport, right? Yeah, you get one. Yeah, sure. You
Benny starts
teleport
running and immediately gets grabbed. And right, yeah. I forgot.
right to the largest sunflower competition, and there are, like I said, you were number 35, so there were around 40 people in it, and there are some pretty big sunflowers there, but nothing like what you are bringing. And after they show all the sunflowers, and they say, essentially the head judge walks up to the stage and he says, "We have a lot of interesting specimens this year, but none as interesting as this 2-story sunflower that was brought to us by one of the heroes of Port Ruby, Sunflower."
Oh, me, yes.
Yes, you. Yes.
We thank you. We are passionate about this. I need to walk on the stage. Yes.
Come, Sunflower. With your
Who else
sunflower.
will teleport over? Oh, and then teleport back with the sunflower.
Yeah, just bamf you right on stage with the sunflower.
Do I share who I am thankful for? Wow.
And share whatever
What
you'd
do I
like.
do? Okay. First we would like to thank I guess we would like to thank Planet Earth. Your existence has been pretty cool. We're happy for that. And then secondly, we would like to thank our most important allies. These are allies that we would consider our closest friends. And without them, we would never have been able to blossom like this 2-story tall sunflower. And instead, we would have been shriveled, not yet gone, but never truly fulfilling my entire purpose. But yeah, thank you.
And the crowd sort of leaps to their feet and gives you like a standing ovation, or your sunflower standing ovation, one or the other.
Ow.
And
Look at that.
what else? Anything else you want to do at the carnival?
I think we had a Ferris wheel and
And
then
some teacups.
and some teacup.
I
Mhm.
So
think
you hit the-
Cadrax will do the talent show.
Yeah.
Yes. We do talent show for sure.
I think I will. I think Cadrax will take the spot since they are registered for the event.
Mhm.
I think their colleague, their ally, has inspired them.
And yeah, the spot is still open. Cadrax, what do you think you play in the talent show?
I will be performing a theme and variations. Thank you. Please pardon me.
Somewhere a dog barks. And
My
yeah,
goodness,
you get up.
sure does.
You
Eh?
yeah, so you get up on stage, and you want to describe what you do, or just
Wherever the tune may carry us, let's never forget our bond. From the hills of Cantalena to the choir far beyond, you will never be alone. My child, you'll always have a home, as long as you keep this song close to your heart. And from that bass theme, they will take up on their fiddle and they will loop and vary and augment and diminish the theme and sing and play and try to extrapolate the bits of the lullaby they never quite got to hear, hearing it as it is on an almost incomplete cadence. And in the final variation, as long as you keep this song close to your heart, we'll never part. And we'll sing it out to their allies.
You just killed me. Wow. And this strange alien melody just just wins the crowd over, and you come in third.
Excellent, because third place and first place winners are always the happiest. This was studied in human athletics. I believe holds true for Star Choir as well. They are a very, very happy bronze boy. Dog is wearing the medal.
Dog gets the medal, and then y'all hit the teacups, and
We have
Vion.
to do a photo booth, which we do really quick. We have to. I think the first two photos are like very confused, trying to like get everybody, and then we get one good smiling, and then one where everybody's very goofy. And I think that's our photo strip.
100%. Vion, you have to spend an hour at your signing table. You lots of arguments over whether the movie or book of The Dark Window was better.
While that's happening, Benny will take the aliens on as many rides as they are excited about.
I feel like Cataracts loves roller coasters.
Yeah.
I think it feels like flying to them. I think the rickety ones aren't scary because you can literally just fly.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah.
It's not scary. And so they love it. They're
That's so good.
they're just like,
yeah, and Lord Jim is like, and yeah, any other scenes we want to have at the carnival?
If there's a moment where Cadrax is kind of like determined to ride the exact same ride twice, Ulez is like, yes, you may take Lori. And they hand you like the half harnessed Lori who's like slipped out. They got like their legs kicking. They want nothing to do right now except go hang out with the squirrels.
No, okay, you will stay there. Yeah. You say the worst things sometimes. Wow. Lori. Cadric, Benny and I are gonna go on the spinning jumbo cups.
Good pick.
Lori, come with me and I will speak to you of revolution.
And yeah, Cadrax, you take Lorigin off, and Benny, Ulez, you get a seat in the spinning jumbo cups, which start very slowly at first. What happens?
Benny, we do not fully understand or have ever truly asked you what your dreams or your future plans were as a human and a resident of Port Ruby. But, oh wow, this is getting fast.
I mean, we don't have to spin it. Benny like stops the middle plate. Like we could just
Whoa.
okay. Woo. We can just do the
Okay,
big spin.
okay.
We don't have to do the little spins if you don't want to. That's okay.
Okay. Oof. We see. Yep. Okay. There are homes and golden gardens that are being repaired, and there are so many spaces and so many people in that community that would honor and be so grateful to have you there. Would you ever consider moving? There wouldn't be any rent. Electricity is charged by the community, and well, the only thing is just sometimes you grow some vegetables and share them with everyone.
And I think Benny like that I feel it was not even like anywhere remotely in the ballpark of what she was expecting this conversation to be about at all, and like has to like take a second to like bring that put herself in a reality where that is a possibility. And I think she just like she's not particularly impulsive in like outside of protect, mode. Like, and we're just, on a teacup ride. There's no real reason, for her to feel, the impulsive bit. This is a real life thing in which it takes her 20 minutes to him and haw over a coffee decision. So it is jarring to her and probably you as well when she just says, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. The documents are available at the detective agency. My assistant drew them up, wrote them and/or printed them. But
yeah, I mean, I might need to, figure some stuff out, but I think, yeah.
It's a space that needs a lot of work still, but everybody has been working tirelessly to improve everything. It has to be a space where folks with powers can feel safe, that they can feel like they can be themselves, and Port Ruby doesn't have a lot of those yet, but I believe that this can be that, and you would be the best member of that community.
I don't know about that. Ulez Galley lives there, but
I go there to watch Pseudostars.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll set it up. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, was the ride over? Huh.
Yeah. Yes.
Speedy. Oh, that's a
And
lot
the
of
ride
spinning.
comes to an end. Via on Cadrax, what are you doing while that's going on? Anything, or just hanging out with Lorigin and at your signing table, or
I'll wrap up at the table and I will
Oh, you won't sign for the last person? Is Cadrax in a transparent disguise? They are absolutely convinced. Like, we're talking Mark's glasses, baby.
Yeah, and who should I make this one out to? And I pull like a copy of the book.
Just Troy.
Just Troy. That's with a J, is that right?
Yes.
I sign. Wonderful. You keep reading them, I'll keep writing them. And I slide. There you go, just Troy.
I open this. I look back. Promise?
And I nod down to what I signed, and it is a little piece of music that I wrote.
Ooh. Can cataracts read in human music? They learned. I think they learned. What is it?
It's just like a little tune that when played together, you realize is the core components of a G suspended 6 chord.
This is idiomatic only to a limited number of genres in human music. This is not terribly common in most of the common practice period, nor in many world traditions.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of the thing that attracted me to my favorite genre of music, which happens to be jazz. It's the idea that nothing doesn't belong somewhere, and the rules are simply there to provide communication, not limitation.
That does seem the most Vion chord possible.
You know, I was going to invite my friend to this little venue that I go to every so often, but I can't seem to find them. I have no idea where they are. I've been looking around. Are you carrying Lorgen right now as well, even with your...
I think I am not carrying Lorgen. Dog is sort of carrying Lorgen. It's because there's the dog harness that Cadrax has, and there's the harness Ula's had for Lorgen, and dog is just it is in microcosm, little miniature.
And I look down at the collective of companions. And you, my good friend, have you seen my friend Cadrax anywhere by any chance? As I say to the Lorgen dog collective. Over, and I look like past Cadrax. In that direction?
If you turn around, I'm gonna just whoosh the whole thing, and by the time you turn back, I will not have completely whooshed it. I'm not that smooth.
I will give you then a second as I look in another direction as if I didn't see it. And
all right,
then,
there. Vion, there you are. I've been looking for you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I just wrapped up. I signed my last book for the evening to a very kind person. And our conversation kind of lit a little light bulb over my head. Would you care to accompany me to a separate location where we might indulge in some music?
That has been a recurrent motif. Itself a musical construction, therefore it seems only fitting that I should agree.
Wonderful. I will text our allies the location so they may join us shortly, and we'll stroll kind of down the street as that stall's packed up, if that works.
Oh yeah.
We come back a little dizzy with some cotton candy for Lori.
Did you have a scene before we showed up though?
Yeah, you can stroll with us.
Okay, yeah. Then we meet up with you.
Doc, you pick up music so well. We spent very little time back in time, I suppose. And yet today you exercise the full extent of that musical language, and that was really impressive.
I appreciate your compliment, I assure you. Human musical traditions are Lovely.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed learning them, as I
It's-
have enjoyed learning your ways.
That makes me very happy to hear because becoming friends with you has been one of the most inspiring experiences, considering up until we met, I just assumed music was a universal language. It turns out it quite literally is, which I like a lot. I like the idea that there's something that can unify all of us. And as we round the corner, we get to the rattling hi-hat. And Viana's a thought, but then saves it for a second.
I mean, that is probably actually, you probably had to teleport or fly there or something, the rattling hi-hat being back and forth.
Oh, sure. Great. Yeah. We can portal that out then. As we turn a corner into a portal.
Naturally, okay.
It's funny. Doc, you often mention like I'm not from around here. And
It
we
is true.
enter the rattling hi-hat, and I start to like say hi to some folks as we go in, and it's just like, this is Dominique. They're originally from actually south of the border. They've only been in Port Ruby a couple years. That's Cassandra from north of the border. We try not to hold it against her. This is Mark from the islands. How's it going, man? Gives a handshake. In fact, all these folks, and there's just like loud music playing, they're not from around here. No one here is from around here. They just roll in and they all just jam, man. They just get it. They know the music. Doc, you might not be from around here. In fact, none of us are from around here, but we belong here. And tonight, I think we very specifically belong here. And I turn to just like a couple of the folks who are just like the band members that are on stage and go, hey, this is the Doc I was telling you about.
And they all kind of like, hey.
You got space on the stage up there?
Always.
And I turn to the booth and I go, hey, and this is my friend Ulez I was telling you about. Do you mind if they take a crack at the light board over there?
I think we could work something out.
Truly?
And you see the lighting guy kind of.
Thank you. Oh wow. What is your name? How may we address you? We are Ulaz Galley. We are the world's greatest detective, and we are honored to press all of these buttons.
I'm Isaiah. You can consider me light jammer.
Isaiah, exist well. And they're going to turn immediately and
I
just
like
start
that.
assessing the lay of the land.
And Isaiah kind of kicks back and just kind of folds his hands behind his head to watch what you do. And Cadrax, you get up on stage?
Earlier today, when I was encouraged toward social interaction, I grabbed Bennifer by the wrist and pulled her with me. Into this, I will quite insistently pull Vion.
And I follow.
And as you get on the stage, the band sort of starts playing like a soft kind of Dave Brubeck-ish kind of.
I will sit at the piano and I will start to play along. And I look to Cadrax and say, yeah, if you want to play the fiddle, you're more than welcome. But this place acoustically was built to really enhance one's, what's the word I suppose I'm looking for? Voice. So please feel free to join in. Everyone belongs here.
They're going to play the club. There are glasses here. There are bottles, each of their own notes. There is wood that is not a marimba, but it is its own sound. There are ashtrays. There are so many things that can resonate. So many things that can sing. So yes,
Yeah.
they'll play the bar.
And yeah, and it's beautiful. Just all those glasses and the rattling and chiming, and with Vion's piano and the band playing. Vion?
I'll cast duplication on myself as I continue to play piano, and then a dupe of me steps off and holds a hand out to Benny and says, "Would you care to dance?"
I absolutely would love to. And so I'll go dance with Vion.
Spotlight. It is in multiple colors. The lighting on Cloud Rocks is fabulous. A disco ball shows up. Who knows if it was already here? It's beautiful. There's a fog machine going, laser lights. Oh, so much.
Does it take a point of determination to instantiate near that light board a camera?
Somewhere.
Dog
A dog
thinks
barks.
so.
I would say no, you can have that. And as Ulez plays the lights and Kadrax plays the bar and Vion and Benny dance the night away, I'm going to pull back on that. And that's how you spend the rest of the night. And then at the end of the night, everybody heads back home except Benny. Benny, you go stop by the Tanner Street Community Center to sit in your pool for a while, your drained pool.
Yeah. In contrast
do you-
to last time, other times we've seen her, I think she lays on the scorched tile for a long time. Just Benny, like no lava, no fire. Just in the middle of this, the evidence of what she's capable of, but just, flesh and bone. And I think she has to hype herself up a little bit because she knows it stings and it doesn't feel good. But she is stubborn as a mule and she is fiercely loyal. And this fire has been kept closely for years and years and years. And it may be sick right now, but she really, really, really wants to burn. For the first time in her life, she really wants to burn. And she can't. And without it being scary again, but in a different way. And she finally, I think maybe after 45 minutes of laying there, she sits up again. And she's gonna just ripping a bandit off, full lava on in the middle of this, and just let the obsidian crackle through, and it hurts and it sucks. And I think she has to turn off a couple of times and back on. But she just needs to figure out where her limits are now, and what she can do, and how she can burn again.
Yeah,
and she spends a while here.
Yeah, and you shift into lava and you feel the obsidian spread through your arms and your legs and crack and dissolve back into the lava, and then it rehardens and you just keep burning, and the obsidian hardens and cracks and subsides and hardens and cracks, and you struggle with it back and forth for a while, but you keep at it and you keep working. And after a while, you watch your arm as it starts to harden into obsidian, and you are as stubborn as a mule, and you pour everything you got into it as you force the obsidian back into lava, starting to feel maybe a tiny bit of control. And on that, we are going to call this an episode. Thank you so much. Oh my God, this was great. Oh my God, there's just too many amazing moments in this episode, y'all. It's like I should just shut up for all these things. It's like, this was just the best. And thank you everyone who stuck with us. And I see blew the top off of the donations. So thank you so much for that. As always. Yeah, we got just a couple left to go. But okay, we'll get real quick, go around the table. Tell the good people where they can find you for now. B Zelda.
Hey, all, I am not emotionally crushed. There was closure, probably. Yeah, totally. You can find me on the internet as @B_Zelda. I'm a podcaster, streamer, and no longer the community manager for D&D Adventures League. I am moving on to bigger and greater things, which I will probably talk about next week.
All right, something to look forward to. Caitlin Bruder.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder, and I really didn't think I was gonna cry during that scene, so woo! You can find me on Twitter at KKAMAVR for all the things I'm doing. Stone Houses is back. We took a little bit of a break because I was in the woods for a week and a half, so I'm back now, and after I sleep for 24 hours, things will be happening again. Stuff, I think, Sam, I think got announced. I think, am I allowed to?
It is announced. We are allowed to talk about it. Yes.
So They Wrote on Wolf had its thrilling conclusion very recently, and there is another one-on-one shot happening, or one-on-one game that is now a one-on-two game that I am being folded into as a little Jedi youngling with Sam, my
We are improving the odds against our GM, Eric Campbell. And after a fundraiser Star Wars game where a washout Jedi initiate ran off with a Force-sensitive young girl, I got to do a casting I'm very pleased with. So that is your very own Bennifer Beckett. And you can catch that if you subscribe to the Stream Punks coffee, which gets you Discord access. So if you're at the companion tier or higher for that whole thing, we work very hard at Stream Punks RPG at assimilating as many nerds as we can successfully schedule. And we will not desist from that ever.
Those are my things. I'm very excited.
Sam Delev.
Well then, I do some streampunk stuff, but I am Sam Delev, and I have been your Caden D'Alto surgeon and your Cadrax, maybe Eversinger, maybe not, but ever singing. And when not doing so among these fine allies, you can find the full schedule of my shenanigans, including these fine people, again, as often as we can schedule. And that will be available on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY, as well as all of my one-offs on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY. See, even both of the screen names are puns and musical. Okay, get away from me.
And Omar Najam.
It's hard to tell where the line is.
Yeah,
it's very hard to tell where the line
The
is.
bleed is you just, yeah.
Hey everyone, I am Omar Najam. You can find me at Omar Najam on Twitter or in my preschool yearbook where I did say I wanted to grow up to be a bear. That is true.
You would have made a great bear.
There is no line.
Thank you very much. I guess I want to real quick. Miss Marvel is out. There is some really
great.
Thank you. We were all worked very hard on it. There are some very important historical facts and experiences that are being discussed in last week's episode and next week's episode. So please check that out on Disney Plus. I don't have to. It's a Disney Plus show. And also, I'll just take this opportunity to say, folks watching, thank you so much for supporting the show. Please take some time out of your very busy schedules to do something fun for yourself. Not something you'll show off to other people. Not something that will improve a skill per se. Whatever is your giant stuffed sloth, please do that. If you can do that, if you can't do it for yourself, please do it for us. We will very much appreciate it. Take time for yourself. Everything's very hard, so take time for yourself. And thank you again for watching the show.
Find your sloth.
And I'm Rick Budd. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at rbud913, or you can follow the show at Powerplay RPG. I will be back here next week with these four incredible people, and I hope you enjoyed their day off, because now the the day off is over, and it is time for things to get real as we roll into what is essentially our 2-part series finale. The penultimate episode of Power Play this time next week. Well, the time slot next week. And oh my God, I am just too full of emotion to talk about it right now. I can't believe we're this close. Be here next week. You don't want to miss this. And on that, the credits come to an end and the theater goes dark. And we are in England in 1949. It is evening and we are at Vorton Manor. A 9-year-old Rhys Vorton walks slowly through the family library. Wide-eyed, he looks at the spines of archaic books of magic that line the shelves. And stopping in the middle of the row, he reaches out to pull a random book from a shelf when he hears his father's voice. "Rhys, what have I told you about touching my books?" And Rhys turns to see his father, Elias Vorton, played by John Sim, coming up the row. And the boy says, "Don't touch your books without permission." And Elias says, "And did you ask my permission?" And Rhys shakes his head and looks at the floor. And Elias says, "I'm not trying to be mean, but there are powerful spells in these books, and if you do or say the wrong thing, you could hurt yourself or release unspeakably evil things into the world. Even I don't understand all the magic books and artifacts we keep in here. It's very dangerous." And Rhys says, "Sorry, Father." And Elias puts his hand on his son's shoulder and says, "One day all of this will be yours, but for now, please just..." But before he can finish, a beam of blue light, like a laser, shoots down the row right past them, through a window and into the night sky. It hangs in the air steadily, and Elias quickly walks toward wherever it's coming from, Rhys following close behind. And when they reach the end of the row, they can see the beam is shooting out of a display case filled with strange artifacts and trinkets. And as they get closer, they see that one of the artifacts, a silver compass-shaped pendant, is floating inside the display, spinning in air, glowing with this blue light and shooting out this beam. And young Rhys says, "What is it doing, Father?" And Elias says, "It's a compass. It's showing the way." And Rhys looks up at his father and says, "To what?" And on that, we cut to black. Thanks for playing with us.